Hello and welcome to episode 138 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and as always, I'm joined by Huib. Say bonjour.
Bonjour.
And I am also joined by the lovely, the bodacious, the most ostentatious drummer Matt. Say hola.
Hola.
How are you lovely gentlemen doing this day?
Doing okay. Existing. I am...
Functioning within...
My cells are dividing at a normal rate as far as I'm aware.
That sounds like something that whose cells were dividing at an abnormal rate would say. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry to call you out so early on.
Well, Matt, how are your cells doing?
I think they're fine, mostly. I haven't asked them. But I feel like they're checking. I feel like they're probably checking if they're not doing good. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Always check your cells, people. I guess.
Yeah.
Have a rummage round.
See what the general reception is.
So, was that a cell joke?
It was a cellular telephone joke. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's how you are, but not good. Based off that.
Sorry, the walls have been closing in on me. That's a jail cell joke.
Oh, I thought it was a sausage joke. I was trying to think how you link sausages to it.
Walls, the brand of sausages.
Oh, no, I'm not hungry.
Yeah. We are getting better at opening these podcasts.
Yeah, this is why our views are skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Snipe, how are you?
I'm fine. Oh, thank you, drummer Matt. I'm okay. I'm trying to think very quickly of another cell joke, and I can't. Stephen King wrote me.
I think we should move on. This conversation's got too splintered.
I can't believe that you didn't go for the obvious one.
What?
Like
the obvious one that you obviously haven't thought of yet.
No, I'm trying to think of a delicate way to put it. That you are literally dealing with an illness right now that is derived from cells not splitting properly.
Oh yeah, hay fever.
Yeah, that's it, definitely.
I assumed that's what you were going to start with, but I didn't want to be the one to say it.
I'm the only one allowed to make cancer jokes, and I'm really glad that people are like kind of letting me have that, because it's just sheer politeness. And thank you. It's like thank you for tiptoeing around it. I appreciate it.
I didn't want to just straight up flat out say it. I felt rude.
Well, I mean, I don't know what my cells are doing apart from trying to fucking kill me and being wank at their job. So I thought I'd just kind of I'd leave that hanging so that my cells felt a bit conscious about it and would maybe apply themselves in a more healthy fashion.
I've heard it described as it's the cell commissars not doing their job correctly and not executing the bad cells.
You need to get away from 40k Twitter. Not everything is about 40k.
It wasn't. It was from a communist podcast.
Oh, okay.
It was the other end.
So basically, one of my cells is not being a comrade, which is not POG, as the comrades say.
I don't think they do.
They might. They might.
But yeah, I don't think we've got any general news to talk about.
Nothing really. I mean, I still got cancer. Hopefully for not much longer. I had.
Yes.
I'll talk. I'll update that in my section. But for now, we want to hear from Drumbly Bumbly. What have you been up to, darling?
Oh yeah. So, good question. I finished Link's Awakening on the Switch.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I only had to look up guides a number of times.
Is that number in the double digits?
Possibly borderline. Yeah, there's just old games. I think I said it last time, but old games are just hard.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I didn't. No one's making a I feel like looking online for hints is like. Back in the day, I would have bought a guidebook or borrowed a guidebook or something, and that was acceptable. So I feel like looking up little hints online is actually not too bad for those sort of games.
I mean, that's literally what spoiler-free walkthroughs exist for, and I love them.
And
exactly.
Hell, people, you'd buy the Prima strategy guide.
Exactly.
No, you wouldn't.
or the Brady
No,
Games
you
strategy
wouldn't.
guide.
No, you wouldn't. You'd phone up the things when your mother was like pretending to be a psychic in the other room and rack up a fuck off phone bill.
I feel like half of that is relevant to people.
What? Just like everyone had a psychic sham of a mother who would con people out of money.
Your experiences are not universal.
I'm so fucking glad.
Yeah. I never phoned up one of those lines, I'll be honest.
I did, and the guy was like, why do you keep calling? And I was like, I just cannot be bothered to go upstairs and check the internet because my father's writing, which meant that he was locking himself away, whacking himself stupid.
So I just thought it was him playing. It was just him playing Perfect General.
He was playing Perfect General and whacking off to pixel porn of like the big Texan bimbos. That was what he liked. And he was so shy he made my mother buy it for him.
You know that.
I've known this since I was 6 years old. Don't worry, my therapist already knows this. It's fine. So anyway, you were whacking off the titty porn while your mum was pretending to be psychic.
Yeah. I was playing the Switch one evening.
Okay, so yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah, close enough. And yeah, oh man, I do like the Zelda games. It's got me really excited for the new Breath of the Wild.
Are they doing a new one, or is it there is a new one that you haven't played?
The new one comes out in I want to say March. No, what's the other month with them? May.
What's it? Mayuary.
Yeah.
It's one of those moments where I remember that only one of us has been to university.
Well, yeah, listeners, pick which one of the three of us have been to university and not just for an open day.
But yeah, I'm very excited, and I will probably buy it like new. I'm not going to pre-order it, but I will probably buy it new, like, when it came out, and play a game that's current rather than the next game that I've been playing, which is the Talos Principle, which is not current.
Oh yeah, that's quite old now, isn't it?
It's quite good though.
Yeah, it's so far.
Isn't that where there's like robot arms petting a cute cat?
I haven't got there yet, but I'm excited.
No, I'm saying I'm sure I've seen that's like the cover of one of those slots of games where it's like. The sleek black kind of augmented arms you get from Dave. Yeah, it's like that petting a cat.
Possibly, you are playing
as the cat,
as a robot. As far as I'm aware.
Yes.
Yeah,
and it's a puzzly thing. So far, I assume there's going to be more mechanics involved at some point. So far, I've had to you have to you don't have a gun like Portal, because that's that's the go-to first-person puzzle game that you think
that's the thing you point everything at.
Yeah, but you don't have a gun. But you just pick up these. Well, the first ones you pick up a universal scrambler decoder jigger thing, and you pick those up and point them at the security gates or the guns or the robots that are trying to get you, and you deactivate them. And then there's loads of puzzles based around that. And I've just got to the point where the next puzzles are like you have to connect up some sort of circuit with these. Anyway, I don't know. I don't think I'm very far into it. And I think it's quite a big game based on there's a lot of writing. Like you go in and every level there's these computers that you go to. And it's got like a conversation tree, but with the computer. You load up this file, I was like, this is a lot of reading. So I'm very sorry to the game developers, but I'm really enjoying the puzzles. And I just kind of can't be bothered for the world building.
I mean, it's it does piss me off when it's we're just going to dump a novel in this. And it's this is a video game, a visual medium of action and movement and sounds and light.
I think
I'm literally playing this to avoid reading.
I would say that if you're going to put in a lot of text for people to read in a game, it best be very good.
Yeah, and guess what? It 9 times out of 10 is not. It's not very good.
Yeah. So if anyone's played it and thinks that it's worth reading any of these computer things,
yeah, there will be people getting mad at you.
Let me know. But I'm currently not, because I kind of can't bother. But the puzzles so far I'm really enjoying. They're the right level of my sleep deprived brain can just about deal with them, but they're challenging. So it's kind of pitched perfectly at the moment.
Okay.
How that changes, I don't know, but it's a bit weird. It's first person shoot them up or puzzle them up or whatever. On the Switch is a bit
solve them up.
I'd rather be using a mouse and keyboard for this. I could get behind the third person games. I'm absolutely fine doing it with a controller or the Do you call the Switch control? It's not. It's just the Switch. Because I've got the Switch Lite, so you can't even disconnect them. So I don't know if the control.
I mean, you can, but then it won't work.
Yeah. I don't know if control is still the right word, but anyway, joysticks and handheld stuff.
The analog sticks.
Yeah, and that's fine for third person and things, but for first person, it's a little bit.
Oh yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, I'm trying not to say that because I'm trying to persuade my brain that I don't hate it.
I hate it. There you go. Maybe your brain will be contrarian and just be like, I'm not like her.
I don't think you can plug in a keyboard and mouse to the Switch. I assume you can't. Because you can do that now, can't you? You couldn't do that back when I had a PlayStation last, but I think nowadays you can.
Yeah, you could. There was a mouse peripheral for the PlayStation. Yeah. It will wank and clocked how we used it.
Okay, I'm going to say, Matt's talking about, I believe, the PlayStation 3. You are talking about the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, because I'm a real gamer. Not like him. He's just trying to get compliments from boys.
The mouse wasn't even very good. I remember trying to use it to play Discworld and having no end of trouble with it.
You're fucked. It was literally like 2 DPI.
Yeah.
Well, I think the modern consoles / possibly not so modern consoles, you can just plug in your gamer with TM mouse, can't you? And
I think there's probably a way to do it. They're a little bit easier to be fucked with, I think, in certain regards. So, yeah.
But anyway, I don't think you can do that with Switch. So, controller it is. But yeah, so far I am very much enjoying it. I'll report back next month when I've done another couple of levels, maybe.
Yep, sounds good.
If anyone on here for the breaking news about the game that's I don't even know how old at some point.
I want to say 8-9 years old.
Quite possibly. I mean, who knows? Time is meaningless.
I still think,
2007
is 5 years ago, so...
Yeah, right?
It's like, that recent...
2007, that recent,
Orange box release.
Orange box release, Pedro Pascal, celebrated Chilean-American actor Jose Pedro Pascal playing, a character in The Mentalist with Ramen hair Australian actor who was in everything in America for some reason for, a couple of years.
I do not remember Ramen
He played a character
Australian
called Patrick
actor.
Jane, and I wanted to fucking punch his foreskin off.
All right.
I still kind of do. That, just speed bag it. Moving on.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really has an answer to that.
I think it's because everyone just agrees with me. I'm so agreeable as a person.
What else you been doing, Matt?
Fuck off.
We've been watching. Oh, I finished off the Vox Machina series. Second season of that. Oh, it's good. It is very, very good. I can highly recommend it. I mean, obviously, spoilers for the first campaign because it is the story of the second season is one of the episodes.
All right, everybody. I've been watching The Last of Us on HBO, and spoilers for the game.
Does The Last of Us? Is it? It's just it is the story of the game.
Yeah, but they made it. They elaborated on a bunch of things and made it way better. So yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got my favorite actor in it, Bella Ramsey.
Yeah.
Nicole.
Right.
Yeah, I fucking love Bella Ramsey, dude. They're so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I get so aggressively protective over them. They're such a sweet little sib. But yeah, it is based on the video game.
The first, the first Last of Us game was it's another one. It's that wasn't too long ago. And you look at it, it's like I don't even know what it was. But
it's had 2 fucking remasters, and it has a PC remaster coming out later this year.
Well, it came out on the PlayStation 3, which I think is all you really need to know.
Yeah, that was released 2007, 5 years ago, when celebrated Chilean American actor Jose Pedro Pascal was playing a character in The Mentalist.
Yeah.
Opposite that fucking
no,
guy.
Let's not do a time loop. Go watch Vox Machina. It's on Amazon Prime, I think, but also the internet.
It's definitely on the internet.
Amazon money.
It is available
online.
in places.
In certain places where you can watch cartoonsonline.org or whatever the website is nowadays.
Subtle.
Yeah, nailed it. That was a weird one because it was a Kickstarter thing to start with.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
And
I think we
then-
spoke about this last time.
Did we? And then,
how it
yeah,
was just all over the place. And then Amazon was like, "We'll give you mana," and then it's like, "Well, what about the rewards?" And everyone's like, "Don't worry about it."
It's like, don't worry, you'll still get early access to it, but you have to have a Prime subscription. Like,
So, well, that's not really a
really.
reward, then, is it?
Yeah. But oh well. Yeah, go watch it. It's really good. If you like, yeah. My dad was around the other day, and we were going through. We've got a free trial for Disney Plus, and we were going through, and my dad saw the category of, well, ambulances. That's good timing.
Yep. Don't worry, I've written it down.
Yeah. We good?
I've written it down wrong. 50. Yeah, I'm done.
Yes. Where was I? Oh yeah, my dad was around the other day, and we've currently got a free trial of Disney Plus that I got with a new phone contract thingy. Blah blah.
Mandalorian.
Anyway, we're going through
1 and 2 streaming now.
Well, I mean, we watched the first one.
Book of Boba Fett.
Probably not going to watch the second. No, did we watch the second as well? Which is the series with? Yeah, it was the second series that had the Taika Waititi episode in, right? So I think we did watch the second series, but we haven't watched Boba Fett. Anyway, the point was, we were scrolling down, and one of the categories is adult animation, and my dad just gave it a look and gave me a look, and I was like, dare I ask what adult animation is?
Yeah, it's like Family Guy and shit like that.
Yeah,
It's all funny.
but yeah, well, yeah, there's also good stuff too, but...
Like Paradise
I like-
PD.
I think
Anyone listening? Fucking hell.
If you really want to like look straight into the arsehole of the devil, go watch the people that made Paradise PD also made a show called Fazar that I watched a few episodes of on Netflix, and it is astonishing how bad it is. Truly astonishing. Although I do really like the idea that that your dad thought that there was the possibility of there
hentai
being
on Disney Plus.
Yeah, hentai on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's the thing.
think just for a second,
I was
yeah.
going to say Daddy Matt, but that has so many connotations and it's not even remotely correct.
And also, it's a thing.
But that father drummer Matt, I love the idea of he's like, oh yes, Disney Plus.
Drumble Dad.
Famous. Drumble Dad, there we go. Well, I mean, you're a dad too. You fucked that up, didn't you?
Drumble Dad.
Yeah, sure.
Double D.
Gramble
say
Gramble Dad. No, Gramble
Grandle. Brundle Dad. There we go.
Sure.
Yeah, Brundle Dad. There we go.
Yep, this is.
Fucking hell, mate. Oh my god. Yeah, whatever I was gonna say is not as funny as Brundle Dad, so I'm just gonna leave it. Fuck it. I'm sorry, Pete. He doesn't listen to this, it's fine.
He does not.
He's too busy watching hentai on Watch
on
Cartoons
Disney.
Online.
I mean, there probably is hentai there, I assume.
Well, you ask your dad, he'll know. This is why he was so surprised.
I
about
do
Disney
really
Plus.
like the idea of he was like, oh, adult animation on Disney Plus. They got Bible Black.
Only that 90s dub, none of that modern shit.
Yeah,
I want that candle wax cum.
Yeah, he wants to go old school.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was when he. I'm not. Oh, I was going to say a phrase that is completely harmless, but it would have sounded really gross. With a double entendre that I did not mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to say it now, though.
I was going to come into his own and kind of. Fun fact about Brundle Dad: he was actually a hentai voice actor in the 90s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Before Drama Matt was born.
Yeah.
He's also a time traveler.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm young and hip.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was young and needed the money. That's what he sounds like. It was that horrible, like, fly incident where he got in a teleporter with a drum kit and a fly.
Okay.
And Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
And a copy of Bible Black.
Okay.
From
This is a very full teleporter.
I don't know how he didn't fucking notice.
Yeah,
It's like, I'm not one to victim blame, but at this point, I do feel it was completely.
Frankly,
on
there
him.
are a lot of people culpable for this incident.
Yeah, it's actually quite shocking.
Mostly
Including.
Most
Yeah,
of
most
the
of
fly.
the fly.
Yeah. The fly that was a hentai voice actor. What else you been up to? Vox Machina? Watching. Oh my god. I did not need to hear that. fucking no. Now all I'm thinking of like is like Spanish Fly. Remember those like weird like magazines I used to get where in the back it's like, oh yeah, if you put a drop of Spanish Fly in your partner's drink, they'll suddenly get horny. And I'm like, that's gross because it's probably just vanilla extract.
I mean, it definitely doesn't work, but it's one of those things where it is advertised and you go, it's a good job it doesn't work because otherwise that's a crime.
Yeah, but it's okay because obviously. To be fair, that's probably what it was at a court of law. It's like, oh no, it's just oyster juice or whatever, which is a known aphrodisiac, but ultimately doesn't do shit.
Yeah,
because if you eat oysters, you're gonna put anything else in your mouth to get that taste down.
Exactly. That's the only reason they're an aphrodisiac.
You'd be like, bricks, fucking give it to me, mate. Stuff my mouth full of bricks. Like fucking chewing like old Rogue Trader miniatures. That's going to be the title, so we get more views on this video.
The lead ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's spicy metal.
I do want to point out the other day, and because we're just apparently just putting tangents on tangents right now, I don't feel bad about this.
No, it's fine.
I was browsing eBay for old miniatures, as I am wont to do, and someone put up a bunch of different entries for a variety of different late 80s Warhammer 40,000 miniatures that were all missing their heads.
There's a story there.
I felt uncomfortable. I felt threatened.
There is ritual there. Did
they mention it? Or was it just a bunch of miniatures?
Oh yeah, it was mentioned. It was like... It was like, oh yeah, this is a headless miniature. This one's headless. This one's headless.
I can see that, but why?
It was given slightly more ominous feeling because the first one I saw was Trooper Vasquez, who's one of the original female Imperial Guard.
Vasquez,
Imperial Army.
Consider me shocked.
Oh come on! Literally, all of them are like weird, like pop culture references.
Literally, the entire thing is just stolen from Dune. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that left me. I was oddly threatened by that. It had an upsetting energy to it. But yeah, Matt. What have you been doing? Lead us away from this unfortunate conversational.
Oh yeah, it's still my bit. Cool. What else have we done? We watched the latest, possibly last series of his Dark Materials.
Oh yeah.
Have I spoken about the first two? I can't remember.
I think so.
I don't remember. All I know is that our friend and bandmate Zoe lent me the first book several years ago. I'm sorry, Zoe, but I have not read it.
Do you still have it?
Yes.
I will say one thing. I love Zoe like a sister. Every book she's lent me has been fucking hot, flaming dog shit. And she's been, like, she was, like, talking about the fucking, was it the time-traveling fucking, like, infidelity nurse who goes to Jacobite fucking Scotland and fucks some guy?
Outlander?
Whatever it is, it's fucking shit and I hate it. And then she was like, we need to talk about Kevin is Amazing. And I'm like, it's literally one of the worst fucking books I've ever read. It pains me to have it in my home. I feel I must disinfect every surface it has ever encountered. I am angry at Tilda Swinton because she should have done fucking better. I hate that fucking book so much.
Tilda Swinton?
She played the mum in the live action.
I wasn't even aware there was a live action adaptation.
It is, and it looks like shit.
Okay.
So, hell, if it looks like shit, maybe it's actually quite true to the book. Who knows?
Hey.
Yeah. But yeah, his Dark Materials book was like, if that is good, then that is the only decent fucking piece of literature she owns. She's not listening to this, I can say fucking whatever, so we can fly, and she's just too selfish to share. There we go, no one will ever... Some fucker is gonna go find her.
Yeah, probably.
And be like, Snipe says you can fucking fly, right? She's like, fuck. That's
How did
secret.
you know?
But yeah, his Dark Materials.
Yeah, my review in a sentence of the series, which I think there's three series of it. Three series, like I think the first series is the first book, second series is broad in the second book, third series is the third book. And my review for the book is the same as my review for the film or the series, in that I get annoyed at it the whole way through because the characters are all really annoying and stupid. And yet, at the end, I'm crying and be like, that was amazing. But I've kind of hated it the whole way through. Not hated it, but like, just, the main character is just she's so annoying, and she makes the wrong decisions all the time, and it's so frustrating, and she's so...
So there's a bit of an idiot plot going on.
Yeah, she's meant to be like cool or whatever, and she's just selfish and annoying. But by the end, it's so sad, and it's just like, oh, and like all the tears are happening. Aww. And I'm just like, that was worth it, but it took a long time to get there.
Could you remember a point in the plot where you felt your opinions towards the characters pivot to a more compassionate kind of angle?
Yeah, about like 3 pages towards the end or whatever it was. I can't remember.
I was trying to like be like, I'm trying to like, trying to ask a sensible question. You're like, nah, fucking. It's the last of them.
No, honestly, the books, maybe both, to be honest, it took most of the way through until right near the end of the third book / series.
Well, would you better late than never?
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's because the ending is so sad and just makes me cry, which kind of is almost good payoff.
Well, I mean, do you feel like it was earned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they put in. Yeah. No, it's fine, but I don't know. It's
complicated.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it is fine to have things that are... I think we end up in this position often where everything is treated as, it's either the worst series ever or the best series ever or whatever. And
people tend to look at things in quite a binary light, which is unhelpful.
And it's fine to just watch something that you're like, it's all right.
Yeah, it was fine, but the ending, I really like the ending. Which is quite nice, actually, because like so many things you watch, you're like, oh, it was really good, but the ending was kind of crap, or the ending was horrendous and ruined the whole thing. But this is like very much like, it was fine, but the ending's really good.
Yeah, no, occasions when that happens are quite nice because, like, it's something that happens a lot with video games because, like, for some reason you'll be able to spot the parts different depending on what game it is, but you'll be able to spot the parts where they run out of money, and sometimes rather than go, okay, right, whatever funds we have left, let's just pour that all into the ending because that's the bit people will stick with. That's what'll stick with people.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can kind of have a mediocre middle bit, but as long as you start strong and end strong, those are the things people will remember.
Yeah, it's like, as a gymnast, no one gives a damn if you start pissing yourself halfway through, but you got to stick that landing.
Have you ever done? Like,
Did I ever piss myself?
You ever done gymnast stuff?
Yeah.
Gymnastics?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I used to do gymnastics.
Did you piss a lot?
A lot. But mainly during the middle, because like my trainer was like, okay, darling, because they were obviously Eastern European, because all the best tumbling trainers are. Yeah. Like, you'll do a lot of piss, you'll need to piss in the middle.
Okay, I think I've located the issue here.
Okay.
You said tumbler.
Tumbling!
Yeah, it was a tumbler, someone doing tumbling. You were at a clown college?
Oh, fuck.
And you were doing pratfalls. And pissing yourself then does have a different vibe, so I think that might have been the issue.
I didn't wear makeup and no one else wore makeup or baggy pants or anything.
Yeah, but you're in training, you don't need to.
I think you need to train in the baggy stuff if you're going to be like a professional clown.
Well, I don't know how far
that's how you're doing it on the night.
I don't know how far you got through the course. The program, you may have dropped out.
I obviously got to the pissy part of the course.
That's right, the start.
Oh, how do you fucking know all of a sudden?
I have a dark family past.
Great. Drama.
Yep.
What else?
We started watching a series on, and you won't believe this because, there's only 3 of us in the world who have this, Apple TV Plus.
I'm sorry, what is that?
Here's
a TV that looks like an app.
Big old bag of shite, really.
Yeah, that's what I get from it.
Yeah, I get free trial.
Alright, yeah.
Might as well have used it. But there's bugger all on there. And it's a nightmare because Apple TV, the app, shows you, like, all manner of stuff from like Netflix and iPlayer and all the other apps you've got installed. But then there's like a weird subsection of it, like Apple TV Plus subscribed version of it, and then you go, oh, this is where the actual content is, and then.
Also, it sounds like they've managed to make a worse version of Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
I was thinking it was more like
satellite
TV, but it's instead of teletext, it's TV. Wait,
what?
What? Okay, I was thinking. Let me start that again. I was thinking it was like teletext, but instead of text, it's TV.
You know, that somehow makes even less sense.
Who used to play Bamboozled? That shit was fucking awful.
No, don't try and bamboozle us all. I need an explanation as to what that meant, because I actually don't know. I'm not taking the piss. I'm trying to rib you. I actually don't know what you're talking about.
I've already forgotten about what I've just said.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's kind of crap. And it also defaults to, which I guess is probably good from like a privacy point of view, but at this point, like, it defaults to not remembering what you've watched. So like every time we had to like stop the episode mid-episode and come back to it, it'd completely forgotten where we're up to. And then even when you finish the episode,
Apple TV.
You come back after the next night like, wait, what episode? Let's watch the next episode. It's like, watch from episode 1. You're like, no, I'm sure we watched episode 1. We definitely watched something.
So you basically have a subscription service with dementia.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay, that's quite sad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a setting and it says, use what we've done to recommend the next things.
Why can't it do what Safari does and embarrass me in front of the hairdresser and remember the exact page of the Pedro Hub Tumblr I was on? Which was accidental and pornographic. Over in Martel has a lot to answer for. It was just.
Was it like a gift set?
It was one of the orgy gift sets, and I was like, "Fuck this! No, I swear!" It was just. No, my trademark is that I've always got an appropriate Pedro Pascal gif, and I was looking for one, and it wasn't of him fucking. I was just scrolling past.
Yeah,
but you've got Indira writing in the background as well, so
you just read the Pedro Pascal porn gif blogs for the articles.
There's no
articles. That's embarrassing, isn't it?
There's no porn gifs, and I haven't looked. There's just I've gifted some Game of Thrones stuff, and he was basically banging half of that fucking like scene. Like half of the scenes he was in, he was like pounding away.
Yeah.
So shut up. Most of it's just his SNL skits now, where he's dressed as like an overbearing Hispanic ma. Which you kept shouting at me in the kitchen because I had echolalia over. I was making spaghetti, and I don't mean to say this stuff. It's kind of like a tick, and I just go, what does he say? My son no has ADD. He just likes to jump. And Wib just comes in and is like, what? And I'm like, I don't know what I just said, because it's a tick, so it's fine. But basically all that to say is it was accidental Game of Thrones orgy gif. Everybody's been there, and for some reason at our hairdressers ages and ages ago, the last time I went, they have like transparent fucking hair shield like tarps now, so they can see if you're looking at gifs on Tumblr. Just saying. Drama Matt, fucking help me, please.
So the thing that we're watching on the Bag of Wank that is Apple TV Plus is actually pretty good. We've been watching, what's it called? Blackbird, I think, which is not a good name. Very
Don't
generic.
talk to me about blackbirds. I am actually currently warring with one.
I feel like that's a story to tell at some point.
It is.
Not in my fucking section.
I was just about to say that, sir. But yes.
It's a series with Taron Egerton, and he is my favourite.
Okay, can I? I was talking about him the other day. So, I first saw him in Kingsman.
Yes.
I only made one movie, really weird. And when you look at a younger person and you go, yeah, they're an attractive person, but you don't have any of those like romantic feelings because they're a young person. I'm kind of like that with him, and I was like, oh, he's a really good actor. He's, and like, but he's kind of, they're framing him like, check out this hot dude. And I'm like, he's young though. But now I've seen stills from him in the Tetris movie where he's got this most beautiful mustache. And I'm like, I am having feelings.
Tetris movie.
Yes.
Yeah, no, just move on.
Just go with it. But yeah, no, Taron Egerton's in that. And I'm like, also, he's grown into his shoulders. I draw him out. It's like, yeah, he has. Also, yeah, you need to see him with a mustache, dude. It is a fucking transcendental experience. It's incredible.
I can believe
but
it.
But Blackbird isn't that prison drama?
It is, yeah. And so far,
really?
Yeah.
I know stuff. Oh yeah, check me out. Sorry, carry on. Taron Egerton and Blackbird grew into his shoulders.
Yeah. I mean, he is stacked in this.
He is.
But yeah,
he is a broad man.
We're only 3 episodes in, so I'm intrigued to see where it goes. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. It's nice. he's a drug dealer or whatever, and he gets sent to prison.
He's in a fucking lockup, innit?
Yeah, but I think he's American. He's American, so so he doesn't sound like that at all.
American with a Cockney accent.
He's so good.
I'm from fucking Massachusetts, prick. You're laughing at me because I did the Scouser movement.
You were kind of doing a bit of a calm down thing.
I don't know. You're either a Cockney or you're from Yorkshire. I literally can't tell the difference.
We have introduced a third bracket, which is Scouser, but in brackets movement only.
He's an American drug dealer
for
in
an
prison.
audio medium.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I described what I was doing, so it will be funnier.
Yeah.
So your man is a drug dealing Massachusetts Scouser.
Yeah. Gets sent to prison because he gets caught because that's what happens. And then they're trying to like keep someone else who is in theory worse in there, but they need him to get more info, so they send Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy. That's his name, the character's name.
An old Jim.
Yeah, no, he hates Jimbo.
Oh,
like that at all.
So he wouldn't like an Australian just hanging out and just existing near him.
No, probably not. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they send him off to the like more hardcore prison under like a fake
double prison.
Yeah, double prison to go and try and find out more info from this potentially murdery dude.
Okay.
Who definitely shouldn't be in prison. He's definitely got like he didn't have a lawyer when he signed his fake confession. He's got some sort of like mental health stuff going on, unspecified, but obviously something.
I mean, that's unfortunately most.
I mean, the whole so far we were just spending the whole way through being like, no one should. Prisons are the worst.
Yeah,
they should not
is
exist at all.
bad.
Probably. Yeah. And it's like the whole setup is like the point is if he gets 10, they tell him that the deal that if he makes a deal and please, he'll probably only get like 2 years as opposed to the like 20 something years that he'll get if he goes to court. And then he makes a deal and they say, okay, cool, 10 years. And he's like, wait, you said 2 years. So like, did we? Like, oh.
To be fair, that is probably one of the most like proper representations of the judicial system.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, well, fuck you. You're a fucking convict. No one gives a shit about you. We can say we can just tell you anything, dickhead.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then, but the whole thing is like then to try and get out sooner because his dad's ill and he wants to get out sooner and all that. Like,
yeah.
That's why he does this, going to this like max security. He's probably going to get, shanked prison. But like, we're just like watching it. Like, why can anyone make that deal? Like, the whole point, allegedly, of prison is to like
rehabilitate individuals who have
someone.
Maybe.
Yeah, and like that doesn't work. And sending people to prison, especially on like minor things, just makes the whole system a lot worse because you have to do bad things to survive in prison. The whole system is terrible. But
yeah.
Even if you don't think it is and like believe the like bullshit,
even if you are objectively wrong, yes.
The point of it is meant to be rehabilitation. And if you're saying, well, as a reward for doing this other more dangerous thing is you get out early, they're just saying, well, we're not going to rehabilitate you. So it's just what like they're just admitting that the point isn't that, and you're like, well,
yeah,
but so then how is it? Anyway, it's weird. But the series is really good though. It's really compelling and. Taron Egerton is so good. Egerton
wasn't, I mean, yeah.
I think it would still be good without him, but he's just
okay
because he's in a few things. There's like the Elton John film, which is amazing.
Honestly, him and Elton John are really good mates after that.
Nah, that sounds lovely.
No, like he texts him and stuff, and like nice. they have like text conversation because I saw him in an interview. Because honestly, Taron Egerton is an absolute fucking sweetheart, and I love him. And like he's
a good Egerton. Come fuck off.
Is that why his name's Eggsy in Kingsman? Is that it?
No, I don't know if it is that or not. But like,
because that would be really weird in universe. Being
Yeah.
like like Galahad's like, why do they call you Eggsy? He's like, because the guy who plays me as an adult's last name's got egg in it. Because that's what the boy sounds like.
And then he looks dead at the camera and winks.
But it's like a ting.
And
And Pedro Pascal's in the background,
I
and he's
would
like,
save
"There's
that
not a
gift to-
second movie. I'm just wearing a cowboy hat and look incredible." They must have had to stitch him into that suit. Like, oh, okay. The Kingsman movies are literally made for queer people, apart from the second one, because that was if they just didn't have that scene.
If they just didn't have the horrendous rape scene, it would be, it's kind of inexcusable, and
it
yeah,
really
ruins
is. It's like you could have done anything else but fine.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to watch Pedro Pascal fuck around in a cowboy hat with a whip. And you've taken this from me.
There's a third movie, isn't there?
Yeah, it's The King's Man. It's got Ralph Fiennes in it. Fuck off, you say your name wrong, mate.
That's not the part of his name that people say that he says wrong.
Rafe. I said Ralph Fiennes. Anyway. But yeah, no, apparently that fucking sucked. But yeah, no, because like it's literally just...
I heard about the ending of that and I was like, ooh.
The Kingsman movies go hard. They go real fucking hard. But yeah, no...
What about the Hitler stuff, honestly?
I didn't know about that.
No.
But no,
I know nothing.
it's literally just suit porn.
Yeah.
It's like all these hot people in suits. And then you get to Kingsman Golden Circle, which, was weird. It was only like, 45 minutes long and then didn't really have an ending. It's just, but what if the suits had cowboy hats attached? And I'm like, as someone from Queensland... This is specifically my kink. You see, Australians have especially for those who don't know, Queensland, where I hail from, is cattle country. So we have a lot of cowboys. We have a lot of Brumby tamers. So I grew up with a lot of complicated feelings about men in Stetsons who wouldn't shoot my pets. So yeah, I'm like kind of like I feel like I'm being appealed to for this 45-minute movie.
Okay.
So yeah, it belongs to the queers. Sorry,
Okay.
Sorry everyone if you're straight. I'm sorry. Yeah, Taron Egerton in a suit. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's good.
That's pretty good. I have seen a lot of people. What's his name? It's not the guy who made Salad Fingers.
Not Dave Firth.
It's not Dave Firth. Is it Colin Firth?
Who are we talking about?
Yeah.
Who plays Harry?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. A lot of people had very complicated feelings about him.
People have had complicated feelings about him for a long time.
Since was it Atonement he was in, or Pride and Prejudice, or one of those costume dramas?
He was he was in Pride and Prejudice, I think. And
People watch that?
I'm afraid some people do unironically watch period dramas, yes.
No way.
Yeah, I know. Wild, isn't it?
Fucking crazy. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I don't understand it, but people like them.
I mean, fine. I'm just like, oh, I want to kiss you, Cuthbert, but your name sounds like something you spit out after a blowjob. Or I don't know. I haven't actually seen one of them, but it sounds
Yeah, I can
bad.
tell.
Oh, my accent was fucking down. What are you talking about?
Was that something you prepared, or was that an off-the-cuff statement that you just...
That was an off-the-cuff statement. Couldn't you tell? It was awful.
Yeah, but...
I'm of the opinion that I don't really like period dramas, but I also watch a lot of things that have spaceships and people painted blue in them, so I really am not in any position to judge people on
if it was
period
quite-
drama in reverse.
Yeah.
Well, it is a period drama. It's
Exactly,
just
it's
a
just
future
a
period.
different period. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And, Blue Man Group in Jane Eyre sounds pretty fun to me.
And maybe I'd get on better with those sort of stories if they were just set on a spaceship.
Well, do you like Janeway's weird, mummy porn thing she does on the holodeck?
No, I actually utterly despise the, is it Good Haven? The Irish Town episodes? They're the most boring episodes of Voyager.
I love it how, Sci-Fi Writer was like, what are women like? Well, they like poofy dresses and kissing men who haven't brushed their teeth. That's what they like. That's what Janeway will like. That's fantastic.
It was set in a small Irish town, so it wasn't actually that fancy.
Okay, then women like poofy dresses and men who eat potatoes. Fucking great.
Okay.
Which is half true. I love potatoes. Love me a man who likes his starch.
Matt, did you have anything else you wanted to say before this gets even more off the rails?
No. I relinquish my segment.
Okay.
Danger.
Okay. Hello.
What have you been up to?
Eating potatoes like a fucking sex king.
I think we had a baked potato a few days ago.
Yeah, we did, you stud.
Alright. I don't have a huge amount to talk about on account of the fact that I realise that I've written somewhere between 15 and 20,000 words in various scripts over the last few weeks.
Working incredibly hard, and everyone should blow kisses to your butt because
Nice.
Jesus Christ, you're incredible.
For context, sorry, go on.
No, carry on.
For context, roughly how long is a script to a Codex compliant episode? And I know they're all different lengths, but
about 2,500.
Okay, so it's like the equivalent of 7 or 8.
Yeah, a lot. And there's we've got working on our longest video.
Yeah, I started working on a video for because this year Warhammer as a whole turns 40 years old. Specifically, I think in May. That month that Matt doesn't know.
May you
Yeah.
Sorry.
The month that Matt doesn't know.
He just goes blank that whole month.
That's his hibernation.
So it goes into a fugue state.
No, that's hibernation.
But
Curls up in a nest of mini eggs and just has a big sleepy.
But yeah, I started. I was in sort of a bit of a weird headspace, and I couldn't. I really had trouble doing a lot of other things. But one thing I could do is write, and so I ended up writing a 7,500 word script for Warhammer First Edition, and it will probably end up being longer. But I have a kind of a version of the script that I would be happy to film, but by the time we make it, because it'll be in a while, because obviously don't want to make it while Snipe's still sick, because it's a big one.
The sick? Well, I mean, both are true. Yeah.
But yeah, so I wrote that as well as several other scripts, including the one that is 1,000 words longer than I intended it to be. That is the one I'm currently working on, which is why there probably won't be a video that comes out by the end of February.
February is also the shortest month of the year.
Yes, if it had 31 days, might have just managed it. If I really cram, but since it's not going to hit the end of the month anyway, I might take a little bit longer and make it so that the video is a bit more polished. You know?
What was that amazing comment you got where it's well, considering my White Dwarf subscription is so fucked.
Yeah, GW doesn't send me one issue a month, so as long as you get it out within 2 to 3 weeks of this, then it will still be quicker than them.
It's damn, son. It was a pretty good burn.
But yeah, so I haven't actually got that. I haven't really got a lot that I've done. It's mostly just been kind of catching up with other things. So I've been carrying on watching The Bad Batch, which I have been continuing to enjoy. Season 2. Not as strong as Season 1, I don't think, but it is doing some interesting things with some characters, like Tech is finally having a character rather than just being terse and smart, which is kind of what he was before. They've kind of tried to fill him in a little bit, which I appreciate.
Oh, I want him filled out.
There's a few characters in the show that seem to want to do that too as well.
Nice.
Also, the first episode of Picard has aired. By the time that you are, the second one will probably have aired by the time you're listening to this, but yeah, so I watched that, and so a lot of people really disliked Picard season 2. I thought it was fine. It did have a shit ending, I will concede that.
I mean, Rico's in it. What more do you want?
Who's in it, sorry?
Rico, is it?
Rico?
The captain. The captain who's got multiple versions of himself wandering around.
Oh,
is
yeah.
It Rico?
No.
I'm thinking of Johnny Rico.
I've actually forgotten his name, but I know it's not Rico.
Well, we've got him in there. What the fuck more do you want?
He's not in season 3.
Well, then I don't... Okay, so season 3 is shit. Don't watch it. Awful.
The La Serena, his ship is still around, but he is not. But yeah, I watched it, and I will say that I think they have understood that there are things that people disliked about season 2, and they have sought to address them by trying to placate people like me. And I say that because there's hefty use of old music that makes me happy, and there was a long segment in which we get glamour shots of a new ship slowly leaving Starbase 1.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, which as if you have watched a lot of the old Star Trek films, a lot of them have scenes with fancy ships leaving like the space dock, usually the one around Earth.
Oh.
So they do that, and I'm like, yep, no, I know what you're doing. You're trying to placate me because I like looking at the spaceships.
And they're like poking their fingers, like pointing fingers together, going, "Is it working?"
Yes, it is. The main ship is a Neo-Constitution class, which is interesting because the Constitution class is the type of ship that the original Enterprise was, and this is a Neo-Constitution class,
which means new.
Yes,
Which I was actually going to tell you that, but you interrupted me. So,
okay.
Yeah. Oh well.
But yeah, so that's a thing. I'm not a huge fan of the design of the ship, honestly.
No.
It's fine, but I just don't. It doesn't have any.
It's fine, and I wish they'd made changes, but it also needs to look exactly the same as it did in the old stuff, because that's.
No, it isn't. It is a completely new class of ship, so it can look new. It's got the traditional configuration of saucer section, secondary hull, two nacelles going upwards.
Yeah.
The configuration that every Enterprise is in.
Yeah.
So it has that kind of classic configuration, but I don't know. I look at it and I just see elements of the ships that they have borrowed those design cues from and think they looked better on the original ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. It doesn't really come together in a cohesive whole for me personally, but that is purely a subjective opinion. But anyway, I enjoyed the first episode. We will see where it goes.
Yeah.
As ever, I
hope it's good.
Much like the Bad Batch, I like these characters, and frankly, I'm just kind of happy seeing them kind of futz around the universe and just kind of do stuff.
I remember you were talking to your dad about it, and you said that if it was just Picard goes and visits his mates and has a cup of tea with them for a bit, you would consider that time well spent. Which, honestly, that's kind of like they're going for that kind of nostalgia thing by having it be about Picard anyway. Yeah. So yeah, sure.
That was an episode. I think it was in season 1.
Where they go and get pizza.
Where Picard just goes and visits Riker and Troy.
Yeah, they have barbecue, right, or something.
Yeah, he's like, I have an outdoor pizza oven and I haven't even fucked it yet. Do you like meat supreme?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, because that's how Riker sounds.
Apparently, yeah.
But yeah, no. I was watching that. I was going, yeah. Mostly, this is just kind of hanging out with his old mate, and I'm like, I'm okay with this because I grew up with these characters, and it is nice to see him again. From what I understand, people are liking this more so far, but it is only one episode, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Speaking of kind of catching up,
are they all doing the episodes like one at a time?
Yeah,
they're only releasing
old
week,
school.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah, the Star Trek stuff's been like that for a while.
I find it engaging.
Actually, I think every new Star Trek's done
Thank
that.
you, Matt. See, Matt gets me. We'll pause for laughter because then everyone else will think it's really funny. Everyone tell me I did good.
I also caught up with the Owl House.
Oh yeah, I've seen, because the last series is like just like going to be 4 or something long episodes.
Yeah, I think there's 3 45-minute episodes.
I think I've only seen 2 of them because it's like they come out pretty sporadically.
Yeah, that's because only 2 of them exist so far.
Okay.
So you are as caught up as I am.
Okay, yeah, I've seen 2.
Because I saw up to whatever was on Disney Plus at the time, which was like halfway through season 2 for some reason.
Yeah, they had a big break at some point, and everyone panics that they got cancelled. It's like, it's not cancelled, it's just going to be cancelled soon, but it's fine for now. Yeah,
but
Disney don't like it because it's a bit too gay, I think, basically.
Pretty much.
I mean, I'm sure there's more subtle reasons, but...
Well, let's be honest, it's a lot eating into straight cishet, representation. Those poor things, you'd barely know they exist.
It was a lovely little bit. It's just in like a montage thing, but of seeing Luz come out to her mum, which is adorable.
Yeah.
I was like...
And then after that part, her mum's always got a little rainbow pin.
Yeah, it's the best.
It's always really cute.
Honestly, we needed this shit when we were kids.
Yeah, right.
Rather than spending 10, 15 years just with our heads full of fucking, rubber bands feeling like shit.
I'm
just glad it's existing now for kids today, because fucking
absolutely.
Yeah.
So good.
But yeah, so that's cool. I was how can I put this without giving spoilers? It was an interesting revelation to find out that one of the characters is Duncan Idaho.
Jason Momoa's in the Ale House?
People who've read past the first few Dune books will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, nah, just a worm.
But yeah, so yeah, I enjoyed that. I think the Owl House is very fun.
I have trouble kind of getting into animation or just things in general because I'm bad at stuff. But it does look very good.
Yes.
And I think it's very cute.
And
Hootie is an icon.
Hootie is the best, and I'm really upset. Hootie is just not in it as much in this latest series.
And honestly, that's them dropping the ball.
Yeah, it's a bit upsetting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it's pretty much perfect. But Hootie is not in it as much as Hootie should be.
No.
Yeah, that is a fair critique, I feel.
Yeah.
This latest bit.
And it makes sense considering the setting and where the story's going. Like there isn't really a way they could do it. But I still just want more Hootie.
I want more Hootie.
And I'm sure if I got more of it, it might start to be like a bit not annoying, but like I don't know. They probably are doing the best. But I still want more Hootie.
Yeah. Yeah,
more Hootie. Please.
I feel it's better to want more of a character than to go, all right, I've had enough of them.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. They're definitely doing it right, but I still just want more Hootie.
Yeah.
More tube creature.
Tube owl.
Yeah.
I love that.
There was a bit in one of the later episodes of someone saying, "I will distract the owl," and then it's like crossed out, and then bird, then crossed out, then tube, then crossed out, and then just a bad drawing of him going, "This thing."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the best.
I fucking love Hootie so much.
Hootie is amazing.
He's fucking amazing.
I'm sorry, anyone who's listening who doesn't know who Hootie from the Owl House is.
I feel bad
you
for you
should,
if
so.
you don't know who Hootie is.
Yeah, just go watch the Owl House.
Or watch a Hootie compilation.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean
that also will
that would work as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I did just sit down and watch like a Stan Pines compilation the other day.
Finally, an excuse to hit a teenager. Like you need.
Gravity Falls was fun as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, cartoons are good. They're fun to watch. Other thing, the only other thing I wanted to mention, because I've not really been playing many video games apart from I got the 13th anniversary of Star Trek Online's like special event ship, which is a small V'ger.
Nice. You were also rocking around on a giant Jem'Hadar ship or some shit.
Oh yeah, I did like the
Which is
reputation
like bigger
quests.
than everything else.
Yeah, I went from a tiny temporal cruiser, which is smaller than most things, escort rather, not cruiser, and then went to a Jem'Hadar carrier, which works by you flying around and then unleashing wings of fighters, and is was literally like 10 times the size of of the ship I had previously. So I felt I was going really slow, but I wasn't. I was just really big.
That's the problem I have. Yeah.
But apart from that, the one thing I did do, which I thought was quite funny, was I'd done a bunch of streams on my own because I've been doing
Because
lots
I've been sick.
Because you've been sick, so I've been doing loads with Longfang recently. But the poor bugger got COVID, and so I couldn't do anything for a while.
Longfang, bless him, he's had a hard
Yeah.
go lately.
So I did a bunch on my own. What I did do, because so I think it was late last year at some point, I played through most of Lego Builder's Journey, which I talked about at the time, I believe. And
you talked about last podcast.
Yeah, and said it was a cute little like buildy game, where it's like a puzzle thing where you use Lego pieces and it has it just has a really fun art style and it's really chill and oddly like melancholic and sad at times. Like it conveys so much emotion through it. Anyway, decent game. If I don't know if it's worth the usual asking price, but if you can find it a bit cheaper, definitely worth a shot. Mm-hmm. Especially if you get it for free, like we did.
Yeah.
Because it was on
one of Epic Games.
Yeah.
It's like we'll just give where they've literally sat there and we're trying to kill Steam, and I'm like, if that's what you think you're doing, honey, keep going. Just keep giving me the free games.
But I looked up online and it said, this game takes about like 3.5 to 4 hours to beat, and I played it for about 2 hours on the stream previously. So I was like, okay, cool, right, I need to do another stream on my own, so I'll just play through the rest of that. Turned out that estimate was very wrong, so I booted up the game on stream, Did the first puzzle. That was the last puzzle of the game.
Thanks for coming out, everyone.
End credits rolling 10 minutes into the stream.
Wow.
Excellent.
Which I thought was funny. So I just ended up playing like Binding of Isaac and Vampire Survivors for the rest of it.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was quite funny.
That is pretty fun.
Yeah. I think I might have played some other games, but I've already forgot what they were, so who cares?
It's not as if you've got a lot going on in your life and nothing.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But having said that, I shall now pass over to Snipe.
Hi.
And Snipe, what have you been doing?
Well, nothing particularly new, but I thought maybe I'd talk about kind of a bit of my treatment and how that's going.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Keep everyone updated, because, filming vlogs is difficult. But I will be getting
fair.
around to them. I got a wig,
You did.
which is
I
super...
saw the picture.
Yeah, that was a really emotional fucking day. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I'm bald as shit. Well, I'm not actually that bald. I've got some stubborn hairs. My hair's thinned and it's quite wispy, and it's I'm bald.
Chemotherapy shit.
Chemotherapy shit, it makes your hair fall out. And,
If people don't know how chemotherapy works, is by it directs itself at fast-growing cells,
Which
i.e. cancer cells.
But
also affects things like your follicle growth and fingernails and reproductive stuff as well.
and gut flora as well.
Anything that's fast-growing.
Anything that's fast growing, it just nukes, because that's basically the best it's come with all the research. But I'm also super glad, because keep donating to cancer charities and shit, because holy fuck, they're immense. The reason I have a wig is because of a cancer charity.
Shout out to Macmillan.
Yeah, Macmillan are fucking incredible. So I've just not been going in, because every time I went in for treatment, there's a Macmillan walk-in centre there, and it's literally if you have cancer, if a loved one has cancer, or if somebody you know has cancer, if you've been affected by cancer, they want you to just walk in and talk to them, and they will offer you counselling. Like, literally, they will pay for like 6 sessions of private counselling for you, which I have utilised. They have everything. They have information leaflets. They have like cancer tea mornings. They have like wig workshops. They have everything. They are incredible. And I've always, every time I went in, I was like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk about a wig. But, brain gremlins and stuff, nervous. I'm like, I'm not sure. So I go in for line dressing, because I have a pick line, which, that's fun. I'm basically a Capri Sun. I've got a little plastic dongle hanging out the upper part of my left arm, which is a very long tube that goes into a vein in my chest. So I'm plug and play. And I found out the other week, one of the nurses who took blood from me didn't close it. So for a week, I was fucking open up to whatever.
Yep.
I'm fine.
Oh.
But that was fucking scary. It's like, so you haven't had your pick line locked. And I'm like, excuse me? It has been 7 days. Oh, God. But yeah, so I went in and I was like, because they do say, there's certain shops that accept what's referred to as an NHS voucher. It's valued up to 120 quid, I think. For a wig. So I go in and I'm like, can I have a form? They give me a form. It's 1 page, double-sided, A4. And go, oh yeah, you just need to do X, Y, Z. I'm like, oh, okay. So I fill that in. And I'm like, oh, it's literally just my name and...
Pretty much, yeah.
Details and hospital number and shit. And I needed to have one of my chemo nurses sign it. So I just went in and I grabbed one of them because they know me. By now I'm there enough. And she signed it. And then it was like, okay, now you just need proof of stuff you're on, so you don't have to pay 75 quid. Because if you're not on certain benefits or certain kind of credits and stuff like that, then you have to pay 75 quid towards it, and then they'll match it to 120 quid. Yeah. Which is still a pretty good fucking deal. So I go out, but then we don't have any printer ink, so I go around the corner and I get some printer ink and I come back and I print it out.
It was a whole thing.
Then I go back to the hospital, to the finances department, and the guy's like, you have every bit of proof I need except the one part. So Wib takes a photo of it on his phone and I just show the guy my phone. He's like, yeah, that's fine. And I get approved for a wig voucher that day. So I'm like, well, fuck. So I text Wib and I'm like, do you want to meet me on the bus? And he's like, yeah, all right. We go there, and there's like one place in Derby that I could. There's like there's a couple of other ones that are like mobile, and you need to organise an appointment. But there was one like physical shop that you could just walk in.
And I think there was a few, but that was the one that you knew.
That was the one I knew, and like the one that I didn't need an appointment for. Yeah. So I was like, well, I'll go in there and I'll have a look. I walk in, and there's a wig I immediately spot, which is exactly the same colour as when I did my hair grey, and the roots are like the exact same colour as my roots used to be. And I was like, oh, I got to try that one on. And I'll try on another one as well. Yeah, no, I got the first shop I went in, the first wig I saw. Because you were saying, like, you walked in and even you were like, oh, that wig is really...
Yeah, that's just your hair colour.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, I tried it on and I was like, oh my God. And, like, I honestly, I'm shocked at the quality of that wig. It's so good. Like, I was like, are you sure this is synthetic hair? And she was like, yep. Because I didn't want to get a human hair because those don't last anywhere near as long and they massively amp up the price. But, yeah, and I walked out with a wig like 5-10 minutes later. Yeah. It was kind of crazy, and like it's so weird because wigs are really warm.
And they are basically hair hats.
They're hair hats, but don't ever say that.
Okay.
It's horrible. But yeah, so yeah, no, I got a wig, and it's been a massive morale boost because because I'm not able to go and like, you know, exercise, and I'm limited with food I can eat because chemotherapy fucks with your taste buds. So everything kind of tastes wrong and bad and ugly and terrible. And I don't have any hair. There's like, I literally, because I had my MRI last Wednesday, which is my pre-surgery MRI, which is good, because that means I'm coming to the end of my chemotherapy journey, because fuck chemotherapy. I know I know I need it or I'll die, but like, oh, it's horrible. Not fun. Not enjoying it. Famously enjoyable activity, chemotherapy. And I had to take all my piercings out because you can't have any metal in. And I looked in the mirror and I fucking cried. Because I have no piercings, I have no hair, I had no makeup on. And I'm at a weight I'm really uncomfortable with. And I was like, there is nothing left of me. And it really fucked me up. And then it was like, well, surgery MRI, pre-surgery MRI. I'm gonna get better. That's fine. But it just like, I think that's probably one of the worst parts of having cancer, is that it does just strip you down to your base state, I guess, where it's like, you know, because everyone like, oh, you part your hair in a certain way. Hair is a massively social thing. It is, you know, like that.
Robs you a lot of your agency.
It's a lot of identity. Like identity is stored in the hair, you know. But it's
according
like,
to anime character designers, yes.
Yeah, right. But no, it's like the psychological thing of like, you know, like when someone's having a hard time, you know, there's the whole joke of, oh, they'll shave all their hair off or they'll have a drastic style because that's such a...
Well, something you have control over.
Something you have control over. It's a very tangible kind of thing. And and it didn't hit me until that lady put my wig on how much that I missed that and how much it had fucked me up. And I was like, Jesus, okay. Yeah, because I felt like I would never think this of anyone else, but you know, you're the nastiest person in the world to yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, what are you on a wig for, you vain twat? What the fuck's wrong with you? You know, everyone knows it's fake. It's like, well, obviously, I'm not gonna try and convince people I just magically grew back my hair. That's insane. But it is the kind of like just the normalcy of like, you know, catching myself in like a fucking like reflective surface and being like, oh, hair, you know. And it's nice to have an extra option to kind of like, you know, because I can put makeup on, I can put my eyebrows back on and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I can't do that with my hair.
Yeah. You can now.
I can now. But yeah, and it wouldn't be, it's like, it's incredible. Like NHS and cancer charities and shit, like, wow. I'm just literally the same day. I mean, you know, maybe... It is incredible. And
the turnaround of going in at like...
And getting finances.
It was like 10 in the morning and then by like 3 in the afternoon you had a wig.
Yeah.
Like, and that involved...
Absolutely.
And that involved having to go out and buy printer ink.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I got an incredible comment on my Twitter because I posted a picture going, oh yeah, I just thought I'd fuck around, grow my hair back, and the secondary thing, I was like, no, this is a wig from the NHS. And somebody replied with, my mum did chemo and she got really excited about the wig options, so she went and got like 2 of them, but then apparently like I can't remember what it was, but like she didn't lose that much hair, and she was like pissed off because she couldn't wear her wigs. And I'm like, that's a really sweet story. But yeah, that was my experience getting a wig, which was pretty cool. Otherwise, things in cancer world, they're going fine. This new chemotherapy is a lot nicer, but it's still it's still chemotherapy, so it's like, would you like to be punched in the face 4 times or once? It still sucks, but it's not as sucky.
Because this one you have every week rather than every 3 weeks.
And I'm coming up on the start of March. I've got that horrible subcutaneous, like, ovary sleepy injection. Which, the nurse when I went in for chemotherapy, like yesterday, because I had chemotherapy. I had chemotherapy yesterday. Holy shit, yeah. That shows you how much better I am.
Yeah. On the old stuff, you wouldn't have been able to do this today.
I wouldn't have been able to get out of bed for like 3-4 days. But yeah, and she was like, oh, have you had it administered? And I was like, yeah, because no nurse had listed it as being administered.
Cool.
It has been a fuck up with that. Watch my vlog for more depressing information about that. But yeah, and that'll be my last one. And can I just say, it has been amazing not having a period for like 50 days. It's been incredible. It's almost worth the agonizing fucking nearly 1 millimeter thickness, like pencil lead injection that they have to inject slowly sideways into my stomach. Because you held my hand for the last one because it was fucking agony. Jesus Christ. But no. So yeah, that's my cancer shit so far. And yeah, they're looking to operate on me probably around the middle of March.
Yeah.
To get my horrible cancer out. Which
what's left of it anyway.
What's left of it, because it has shrunk a lot.
Yeah.
Thankfully. So, looks like, the smaller it is, the less invasive the surgery, which is always really good.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to say, if anyone wants to, like, ask questions about me having cancer or, like, my chemotherapy or anything, please feel free. I don't because I'm kind of doing my vlogs and stuff to kind of get my thoughts out there, but also to kind of show what's involved in the process, because I had no fucking idea.
Yeah,
I knew it was bad and wasn't a particularly fun thing, but yeah, if y'all want to like ask me any questions about it, I've got like my Twitter, or like if you want to ask on the podcast, that's fine too. Don't feel like you can't, basically. And yeah, so looking forward to being done with it. Cancer, kind of over it. Not fun. I will ring that fucking in the clear cancer bell.
Yeah.
Like we're fucking like barreling towards like an iceberg on the Titanic. I'm going to annoy every fucker in that ward.
You're going to ring it like
sorry
a town
everyone,
crier.
I fucking earned this. Ah!
Yeah, and no one will begrudge you of it.
Literally no. Like anytime you hear that, everyone stops in the wards. It is honestly just remembering every time someone's done that, it makes me tear up. Because literally everyone's sitting there going, nice. Yeah. It is such a thing because like we I remember at one of Zoe's parties we met a girl. I'm not gonna say a name or anything, but and we didn't we kind of hung out and we were like best mates for like one drunken kind of like evening.
In that way that you do when you
in
get
the way
a little
that you
bit
do,
drunk.
yeah. And she got cancer like a few years after that, and I never knew. I was like, if she commented, I'd be like, I really hope you're doing well and stuff like that. But I didn't know her well enough to kind of,
Yeah.
I wanted to keep up the positive kind of vibes, but. And now I've got cancer. She's leaving things going like, I'm thinking of you and stuff. And it's like, there's just something. I guess this is probably akin to what being a parent is like. Suddenly you have this whole kind of like extra emotional kind of cupboard unlocked.
Yeah.
That you just connect with other people on that level because they know exactly what you've been through. You know exactly what, you know how fucked it is. And it's a real kind of weird feeling of just like you just click with that kind of thing, and like you just it's
unified experiences bringing people together.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to surgery, which that's a thing. That's happening. And I'm gonna update more when I get to that. And then like post surgery is radiotherapy, which is just basically, it's pretty Marvel, honestly. You go in, you stand still and I'd get my boob lasered for 10 minutes and then I go away.
Yeah.
You know, I learned, if you're a sperm producing individual who's going through chemotherapy, they tell you to use condoms explicitly if you're engaging in sexual intercourse, because chemotherapy can come out in sperm.
Oh, okay.
So so if even though it does affect fertility and stuff like that, it's still there's a lot of chemochemicals in
and you don't want to mustard gas your partner.
No, you don't. So it's I never knew that, because I mean, obviously, I'm not a sperm producing individual, but I was reading up on chemotherapy's effect on fertility and libido and not sexuality, but sexual kind of aspects, and kind of how it's obviously you feel like shit, so you don't feel like getting down, but there's also a lot of actual kind of physiological responses and chemical changes, and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't have thought of that, but yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I wasn't being weird. Chemo drugs are derived from World War One poisons.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, like mustard gas and stuff like that. That's where treatment is derived from.
If I remember the story correctly, it was we discovered the process of chemotherapy because the Americans took a boat full of chemical weapons to World War II, just in case people wanted to use them. And
Which is super bad.
It was parked outside, near an Italian town, and it got blown up. And so all of this shit went down, got cast over the local town, and they were like, "Wow, it killed a load of people." But we have noticed that
killed a bunch of cancer.
It's affected cancer because it affects fast-growing cells, and that's what that I'm sure it's mustard gas.
I'm pretty sure it is.
So
one
that's
of the big nasties.
And so that's how we accidentally through a accidental war crime found out about chemotherapy. Because history is a nightmare.
It's a complicated fucking smorgasbord of horror.
Yeah. Be sure to look that up yourself. I'm sure I got elements of that very wrong because I was just remembering it offhand.
Well, I mean, a lot of the base hits are very true, derived from chemical weaponry there. But so I will update as it goes, and I'm kind of feeling a bit weird about it because I've been going to the hospital at least twice a week for 4 months. They know me by name there. They know my preferred name there, which is really nice. It really is. And I'm just kind of it hit me the other day that when I was going in, there's going to be a time when this stops. And I can't wait to never fucking go to hospital again. Literally, I've been dismembered. I'll walk it off. I don't fucking care. I am not going back to hospital. You can't make me. But no, we'll update as thing. As for a non-cancer update, I did a stream on my own the other day because I was having a rare day where I had a bit of energy.
Yeah.
And
what did you play?
I played The Sims 4, but with a twist.
Ooh.
I played it with a mod, a stream plugin called Crowd Control, which basically means people in chat can exchange bits for, to be able to affect the
Fucking
game.
with you.
Yes. Oh my fucking God. Those 2 hours were the most intense, fire-based fucking gameplay of The Sims.
I think you need to establish what the general conceit
The general conceit of this was, I made Din Djarin and Grogu. And the whole conceit was all of the weird random shit that would happen would be Grogu just doing his force powers while Din was trying to earn a living. So it turns out Grogu's a pyro fucking maniac.
I think the important thing to mention here is that Din was just was dressed like a normal person but wearing the helmet.
But he had his helmet on and everything. Now, the thing is, There's certain commands like start a fire or summon 10 children Sims, which chat really hooked into. So the thing about when a fire starts, because it was the Pokemon, having a normal one, the Sim that's selected when a member of chat will start a fire, it sets that sim on fire. Now, like, babies can't die, so Grogu was safe. And the mod means the first sim that you create is immune to, like, dying of, like, you know, chat fires and stuff like that. But that meant that the entire fucking house was covered in scorch marks. I had to keep replacing the couch all the time because he'd be watching the cooking channel and someone from chat would set Din on fire.
And then it'd go into fast motion
and
because
then
someone
it'd
else
go into
paid for that.
hyper motion, and it was like, what the fuck? Okay. Then he'd suddenly be in a tuxedo because you can pay to change their outfits. But the thing is about when a sim catches on fire, it drops their hygiene to 0. So chat's fucking. This was the rub. This is what chat would do. They would set everything on fire around Din, so he'd need a shower. He'd go shower, and then they'd spawn 10 random child sims in his bathroom. So he'd freak the fuck out, rush out of the shower to cover up, because he's just indecently exposing himself to weird cryptid suddenly spawned in Children of the Corn. We did end up like being like, they are just a weird like ley line event.
Yeah.
Like Children of the Corn who would just like randomly materialize in the fucking bathroom while Din's like showering. And then just leave. And that just kept fucking happening. So I'd be like, okay, chat, he's going for a shower. Don't make it weird.
They'd make it weird.
They'd make it weird. Yeah.
I feel you are skirting around a very important issue.
There was also... Okay, what issue? I haven't finished talking about it yet.
What did Grogu look like?
Okay, so... I was, like, gonna use... There's, like, a Yoda mask, but it's only, like young children and up. The only young children can wear that because it's like, you know, age locked. So Grogu being a toddler couldn't wear that mask. So I made him green and he kind of looked like a baby Shrek.
Yep.
And people didn't like that.
No, they didn't like it. I didn't like it.
No, because I got a few new people in, and I was like, no, that is not Baby Shrek. That is explicitly Grogu, a.k.a. the child, from the Mandalorian Disney Plus season, streaming now.
I was not on this stream, but I remember at one point
No, but when you showed up, chat decided to save up all their bullshit to show off to you.
But I remember when I looked over and saw the screen and saw this Grogu, and I just lost it.
You did.
This weird little gremlin baby that you made.
Is there a way that I can... Did you take a photo of it or a screenshot of it or something? Can I see this?
There's a VOD of it, and I will send you a picture of it later.
Okay, good.
I may ask for a picture of that to be the thumbnail of this episode. So.
Fantastic. Love that so much. So yeah, there's also a couple of commands where you could, if you paid a certain amount of bits, it would add you to the game under your Twitch username. So we had a couple of people. We had Alice and we had Lynn spawn in. Grogu hated Alice. He literally, this toddler was getting the Schadenfreude buff. So, like, because they didn't have enough beds and everything kept setting on fire. So they were constantly having debuffs of they are scared of fire.
Yep.
Or, like, I was cooking dinner and then the baby set fire and the couch is ruined. And so, like, Alice was crying in the corner and Grogu's like, fuck you. It's, like, literally getting a bonus to his mood because he's like, oh, and then you mouse over it and it tells you what the buff is. And it was like, oh, Grogu has seen someone he hates go through something traumatic. And I was like, Jesus Christ, Grogu! No. And also he was a defiant child, so he would go out and just pour ketchup and flour on the sidewalk. And Din would just watch him.
Again, that checks
and
out.
Sigh. And I'm like, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Or then, like Grogu was like, I'm gonna shit my pants, and Din was like, okay, go to the potty, and he's like, fuck you, Dad, and then, was happy because Alice was crying. Lynn was just angry and wouldn't sleep in her own bed, which was pretty... Grogu was like, you are fine, but just fucking hated Alice for some reason. And, like, there was literally... He was having a shit in the hallway, as Grogu is wont to do, and suddenly got this burning, like, hated sim nearby, and Alice is just, like, reading a book. And he's like, fuck you! Oh, God, I hate you! And then there was the one time that someone set Lynn's bed on fire, and then the firefighters came in and just watched. They just watched because like I bought 2 beds to put because they had basically no money. So Din had the double bed, and the other 2 Sims had single beds in his room, which that's the only ways it would fit. Don't worry about it. And so yeah, their beds just set on fire, and the entire half of their bedroom just burnt down, and the firefighters just watched.
Yeah, you were originally gonna try and like do like a get 1,000,000 simoleons during
that went
the
out
challenge,
the window
but
so fucking quick because I was like, this is not
but
happening.
it became a
I
game
have to
of
replace
survival.
Yeah, because fucking pyromaniac chat just spawning 10 children every time Dinjarin takes his fucking pants off. It's like, what if Snipe but 10 children? It was, oh my god, it was a lot. And then when you came to have a look, they were waiting. Chat was fucking waiting. There was like 8 fires that started. 30 children spawned. I've got Din clutching Grogu, running out of the house screaming because everything is on fire.
He's now wearing his tuxedo.
He's wearing his tuxedo. The screenshot starts shaking. Grogu's fucking thrilled because Alice is afraid of fire. And fucking Lynn wants to chat up one of the firefighters. And I'm like, what?
I mean, fair, but you know.
Yeah, that's cool. But like, also, Jesus fucking.
Time and a place.
It was intense and it was very funny. I had a lot of fun.
We will hopefully, because this mod works on several games, and so
Yes.
we're not going to do it like all the time because obviously, you know, given the nature of it. But there are some other games we want to try out, like the Binding of Isaac one,
And there's a Minecraft one that I
Minecraft
need to
one,
figure out.
We want to try and get some of these other things working, so we'll do them at some point. And I'm sure we'll probably do another Sims one at some point, where I'll be there because I kind of want to see this.
It's
like
fucking mayhem. I was just like, I am literally just vibing, and you're just spawning people in the shower. Oh my god! But yeah, no, that's all I've been up to.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Okay, I guess that means we must go to the questions.
The questiones.
However, we think we may have broken our routine by having episodes come out like once every like 4 months for a bit.
So none of you pricks are using the emails like the pricks you are.
We had one question to the old email that I'm not
which
supposed to check
you should
anymore.
ask first because they're better than the rest of you. No, I'm joking. But yeah, send it to thedrummermat@gmail.com.
However,
Yeah.
I do have a bunch of
Twitter questions.
a bunch of Twitter questions. So do you want to do that one regular question?
do the golden
The best
question.
question first.
The
The
best
best
question.
The winner of questions.
By
Yes.
Omar the hero.
Yes, very true. Omar, you are the fucking hero and we love you. All hail Omar.
Hello guys, what do you guys think about the new guard releases, such as their new designs? I
What a shit fucking question, Omar! Fuck!
Specific-
No, I'm joking.
specifically want to hear your thoughts on the new Rogel Dawn battle tank.
It's got a hole in it, hasn't it?
Oh, it's like Flintstones, isn't it?
Which people made out to be a big problem. And then I was like, well, I always leave a hole in the bottom of all the tanks I make so I can pick them
so
up
you can
easier.
put it on, yeah.
And so when
you
I'm
can,
painting
like,
them,
you can claw machine it with your penis and pick them up.
I have a lot of questions that I'm not going to go with here. But yeah, I like the new guard stuff. It looks pretty decent. It's nice to see them have a bit more kind of human proportions.
No, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, it's cool. God, what a good question, Omar. Oh my God, Omar.
Good question.
Good question, honey.
But no, yeah, I like the new guard stuff. I'm not necessarily going to get any of it.
I'm not. I just want my fucking berserkers. I'm so pissed off. I want them now.
I think they've come out now, haven't they?
I don't care how. I want them now. No, they haven't come out yet.
Yeah, the only guard stuff that I'll be I'm looking at is stuff for a tank company. So maybe I might get a Ruggle Dawn at some point. It'd be a grot tank company.
No
so
one
I've been
was
threatening to make.
questioning that.
Yeah, I've been threatening to make this for years, and just the Lamenters happened and sort of put the kibosh on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I am still planning to do it. I actually had a really fun plan that I realised, which is that, so you know there is a troop carrier version of the Baneblade called Stormlord that can carry 40 troops inside it.
Yeah, but like how? Because the models are too big to fit in it.
I mean, not really so much with these. These are fucking huge.
Yeah, I know. That's one of my. Not everything is one.
Yeah, the tanks and the individual units are not supposed to be in the same scale. Don't worry about it.
Don't think about it.
But yeah, I realised that what you could do is that you could have one of those, and instead of putting troops inside it,
put goblins in it.
You could put 6 Cyclops demolition vehicles inside it, which would basically mean, much like an episode of Thunderbirds, this Stormlord would arrive somewhere, it would open up, and then 6 small tanks would roll out of it and then try and explode on people.
Is that a thing that can happen?
Yes! This is a legal build.
It shouldn't be. It should not be.
And so I'm like, I might have to try and do that. Not buying the actual Forge World Cyclops models because those cost I think it's like 17 quid each, and I'd need 6 of them. Yeah. I'm just going to make them out of Epic Land Raiders and just bulk them up a bit. But because they're more or less the same. Okay, they're a bit smaller, but once I bulk them up, they should be fine. But yeah, so that's probably what I'm going to do, because that seems like a fun idea.
Yeah.
To make a very stupid force.
But, I mean, you make stupid work.
Yeah, basically, it's one of those, I don't think it's going to be a good thing, but I do want to see my opponents react to it.
Well, I'm already going to scuff the back of your head, so,
Because it is like, oh, hey, there is a super heavy that's just got really close to me and it's covered in flamethrowers and a Vulcan Mega Bolter, but also it's just released 6 highly explosive tanks that I definitely need to kill this round.
You know what I hate about you? And, the way you build armies is you're like, I'm going to get this thing, which will kill a Titan in one, which has the possibility to pretty much, kill a Titan in one round. And I'm like, stares over at my full Dreadnought Titan army and fucking glares.
You don't have any Titans.
Not Titans, fucking...
Knights.
Sorry.
A Shadow Sword can theoretically kill a knight in one shot.
I know, you tell me 3 times a day.
But also the Shadow Sword costs more than a knight.
Yeah, you tell me 3 times a day. Fucker. It's like, I really want to see it, but I don't ever want to fight it.
I am reminded one time I did a thing, I think it was for the last time we did a bat rep for a channel anniversary, and one of the things that an idea that we had to do was to have a bunch of dreadnoughts versus my one Shadow Sword.
Yeah.
But we didn't do that because I did a couple of test runs, and I found out that the Shadow Sword is just way too powerful for that.
Yep.
And it would just eviscerate every single dreadnought before it even got remotely close.
Yep.
Because it's this is a gun designed to kill Titans, so taking out a Redemptor in one hit is nothing.
Okay, so, just to kind of, clarify, I didn't build, a Walker army just because I thought, oh, yeah, this is so cool and it's going to be really annoying and everything. No, my brain doesn't work properly, so low model, high points cost is perfect for me, and that's just how I like it. And I also like painting bigger models because I get less frustrated. And it just so happens that you need a tactic to deal with that, apparently. I don't really go into games with tactics. I just do what I think is cool and fun.
Let's just say armies I build tend to have a few more las cannons than you probably normally would have for this very reason, because I know they're going to be fighting dreadnoughts a lot.
But yeah, I don't do it to try and cheese anything. I just do it because I'm I just really like this and I'm glad I can do it because I like dreadnoughts.
And to be fair, when I do weird gimmick builds, I'm not doing it because I think it'll necessarily be a competitive tactic. I do it because I think it will be funny.
I do it because I think
it would be a fun, different kind of army to both play and fight against.
Yeah.
Because I think that's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, shall I...
Go to the not as good... Thank you so much, Omar. We appreciate you. You know what I love about Omar? Their questions.
Okay. First question. This is from Prime B. Shall I just go through these in the order that they show up, and we'll go through as many as we can?
I like how it's a different order.
Well, this is what it says on mine.
Wow.
Which is from Prime B,
Prime B.
How would you redesign the Galaxy class, that's the Enterprise D from Star Trek The Next Generation, to fit the Kelvin timeline, which is the timeline from the 3 recent Star Trek movies?
Nice to see a question for Snipe.
Yep.
Yeah, finally. I'd put a little hat on it so it looked okay.
Because Kelvin.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm funny.
If you wanted to match the Kelvin Timeline Enterprise, then I'd make the warp nacelles unreasonably bulbous at one end, and then make the pylons be at an angle that looks awkward. I don't like the Kelvin Enterprise. Sorry.
I know. Yeah.
I don't know. Its stance is weird. Its nacelles are too close together, so it just looks weird from like most profiles. I think. Anyway.
No, I get you.
Okay, next one. This is from Hobbytan. Don't have a question, but I want to tell you that you're doing fab and doing amazing, and this little gremlin is proud of you.
Aww.
Which, thank you, but not a question.
Not a question, Hobbo. Get the fuck out. Love you, Hobbo.
From Big Butch Goth Girl.
Hola.
What's the most minor/niche 40k character you'd gladly watch a TV show about?
I don't know any niche one. It's like quick, tell me a joke. I don't know.
I mean, I guess it because niche, not necessarily, but minor. Like, I mean, I think you could do something fun with Makari.
Yeah,
Is it relatively minor?
You could
character?
do the little Grogu and Ghibli thing, which I did watch, and I cried for 20 minutes.
I forgot that came out. I should watch that.
I cried because it was. I was having a really dark day, and that kind of just unlocked all my emotions, and I just sobbed for like an hour afterwards. But yeah, something like that would be really cool, where he's just fucking about in like an orc camp. That would be adorable, actually.
As a secondary question, would the lead character be improved if they were played by celebrated Chilean American actor Jose Pedro Balmaceda Pascal?
Yes, but then I'd have to pick I was going to say something gross, like I want to see a TV show about Melindy, but it's Pedro Pascal. How fucked would that be?
He needs to get a hairy spider tattoo.
How do you know he doesn't already?
He doesn't have one where Melindy does.
Well, is that why it's a hairy spider?
Yeah.
Has the spider got a massive vulva?
I'm not fucking saying anything.
Oh god, fucking, he's so creepy. Not celebrating.
I think it's actually like on a lower back, if I remember rightly where it is.
Okay.
Okay, this is from Flannel Wolf Samus.
Hola. We're not asking Drama any of these questions, apparently, by the way. Just saying.
That's all right. I'll speak up when I have a funny answer.
Yeah.
We can't wait forever, dude. I'm joking. You are a very funny man. And
what are some things that you have bought or bought that comfort you or have brought you joy recently?
That's a really cute question.
I recently got the Legacy Galvatron release
for
20
40 quid cheaper than it should have been.
Yeah, they're normally like 60 quid, and I got it for 20 quid, and it's really fucking good. Yeah. It's a genuinely it's really solidly made. It's a little bit. It's a leader class toy, so it's one of the more expensive end of the like main Hasbro line. But it's a little smaller than those normally are, but they basically exchanged size for quality, and it just feels good. Especially
after that fucking Expanse.
Yeah, I bought Ultimate Expanse, which I also got for £20, but then took it back because it was unusably shit. It was basically untransformable
when
because
you
how
pick
bad
up
it
a
was.
Transformer, because I collect Black Series, which are very solid. They are well made, they are solid, especially the recent ones, like the facial sculpts and shading on them are incredible. I love them, they're fantastic. The Transformers are just as good quality. I don't think there's one in your collection I think is tacky or cheap or bad.
There are, but you have to mess with them a lot more. But the quality
of Transformer figurines is really high. Yeah. This Expanse retailed at over 100 quid. It felt like one of those gas station Transmurfers. It was disgusting. It was flimsy. It barely transformed. The joints were flopping all over the place.
And that was the ones that weren't so stiff you felt you were going to shear the whole thing in half by moving a leg.
I was shocked by how shit that was. To the point where you took it back and they were like, okay, what's the problem? They opened it and the leg fell off and they went, yeah, okay, here's your refund.
The wing fell off.
Whatever it was. And it was just wow, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking... No wonder no one's fucking buying it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, if you happen to have an entertainer nearby you that has an Ultimate Expanse in it for £20,
Which
because a lot of them do.
Don't buy it.
Don't buy it. It's not worth it.
Just literally set fire to a £20 note. It'll be more fucking entertaining.
Yeah. But Galvatron was the opposite of that. He's really good. And I can wholeheartedly recommend him, especially if you can find him at TK Maxx, £20.
Oh, yeah. Don and Matt, what about you, Don?
I bought some new tattoos, if that counts.
Tattoos are the ultimate comfort.
Yeah.
Tell us about your tattoos.
I've got a squiggly bird on my arm.
I love birds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a sort of abstracty squiggly bird. And then I've got like a daytime, nighttime little scene on both arms. Those ones are hand poke ones, like rather than machine.
Oh, you got hand poked.
Which I've never had one before. So
I've heard that it's a bit more painful.
Oh, you can't feel it.
Really?
I'd like to because it's just like you've got like one little needles going boop, 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 as opposed to a machine going blah, 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 fucking stuff.
My biggest problem with tattoo machines is just the noise. Honestly,
yeah, none of that.
It's fucking
It's really calm, and it's just. I mean,
it's not the chisel; it's a proper hand poke.
Yeah.
I'll be very interested to see them when we next see you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Also, I will say, never get a stick and poke tattoo. A hand poke tattoo is not the same as a stick and poke tattoo. A stick and poke tattoo is something that can literally fucking make you lose a limb. No, you can't sterilize fucking needles or tattoo machines or anything like that at home. You don't have a fucking autoclave. Don't do it. And that is something that basically will always make me go 100% serious and angry. Like gun safety. That's something that will always make me angry. So, but yeah, I'm very interested to see the hand poke dude, because that sounds really fucking cool. Because they look so pretty. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to think, me. You see, having ADHD and the only course of serotonin I have is buying shit. I know. I bought a little Maxwell Lord from the Wonder Woman 1984 mini Funko thing, where it's like they're Funko branded, but they don't look like fucking dog shit.
Huh.
It's kind of weird.
They're little super deformed.
They're little SD things. And there was a person selling one on eBay, because they're all mystery boxes, and I wanted the Maxwell Lord one.
Maxwell Lord is played by Pedro Pascal, if you don't know.
I know you could probably assume that. And the only reason to watch that movie...
Have you ever watched the movie?
I've watched it in GIF form. But I'm not wrong. And I was umming and ahhing about it because the actual price of the blind box is about £5, and there was one left in game, and it disappeared, and I was really upset about it. But then again, it's like he's like 1 in 36 chance, because they actually list your odds on it, which I think should be illegal not to.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, because it is just gambling. But this person was selling it on eBay for £10, and I was like, oh, that's a lot of money. And then Longfinders gave me £6 and was like, just fucking buy it. And I was like, okay, and it made me happy. So. That was cool. Yeah.
Okay.
A good question. There's more.
Next one, actually, it's still from Samus. What fictional bald person's head do you most want to slap?
Charles Xavier.
Yeah, actually, that seems like a pretty good shout. Yeah, I'm going with that.
Because, quite frankly, fuck you, Charles. He'd know I was gonna do it. But the thing is, it says if I had the chance. So he's thinking about pizza. I don't know what the fuck a world-renowned psychic would think of.
Okay,
I just whip his head.
Other option, season 1 Jean-Luc Picard, because he's such an arsehole in that first season.
Yeah.
That I think his reaction would be quite funny.
Mm-hmm. Murphy from RoboCop.
Yeah.
Because ping. Okay, yeah. Donk.
You got one, Matt?
I mean, I'd quite like to slap Jeff Bezos, just because that would be satisfying.
He's unfortunately not a fic. He's a real living
is it fiction? What's fiction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because if it was real people, yes, I could make quite a list of real-world people who I think deserve a slap.
Very much so, yeah.
Okay.
Although that borders into actionable threats and probably not wise to get into.
Wouldn't it be funny in Minecraft if we did this? Teehee. Oh, Kingpin! I want to slap Kingpin. That'd be fun. And he'd be like, what?
What?
Fucking what? Yeah, from New York.
Shall I move on if you haven't got one?
Yes.
Okay. One final one from Samus, and finally, and we'll try and keep these brief because this is a big question.
Okay.
And finally, what's one thing you'd say to a younger version of you?
Should we say like a sentence that you'd say?
Yeah,
rather
just like
than one thing.
Well, just like a simple thing you'd say.
A simple thing. Run.
Don't get rid of Thunderclash. He'll be worth a lot.
Fair. Draw him out. What about you?
You're not straight.
Yeah, apart from like being like, because I would be like,
Yeah.
it's like you're not cis, bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from like, like yo, you queer idiot. Because Jesus, that honestly, that would have saved a lot of fucking problems.
I think that's a decent one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, from David J. Bradley.
Oh, hey Dave.
Where were we on the night of the murder?
I was like elbow deep in this guy. I was at the ballet. It was a good show.
That was a jokey one. So I'm not gonna demand, Matt, that we ask where you were.
He was on the other side of the guy I was fisting. Well, the night before Taron Egerton went to prison, we were like, honey, let us praise you like you should be praised.
Okay, here's an interesting
Something to think of in those lonely nights.
Have you seen the latest Oglaf?
Yes! I wore Taron Egerton like a pair of jogging bottoms and Joe Matt wore him like a pair of mittens. And we ran in a like a fucking majestic sex tandem horse through the hills of Massachusetts.
Well,
that's why he's so big. He's still got like Joe Matt's balls in his shoulders.
Jesus Christ. Okay, got a question from Tempest here.
Hi, Tempest.
Which is favourite tonk,
What's that?
as in a tank.
Oh,
I will say something purely
heavy
to
weapons guy.
I was purely going to enrage people who actually know about military history and say that my favourite tank is the Bob Semple.
Simplify.
The tank people will know what I'm talking about and will be swearing at me.
I don't really care.
It's basically a tractor with like corrugated iron strapped to it in New Zealand.
My favourite tonk is a honky tonk.
Yeah.
Because I am mighty parched. I know it's noon, but I got that kind of like, got that after 5 feeling.
Does anyone have an actual opinion on real world tanks?
Oh, not real world ones. I love the Goblin Grot tank. If we're talking 40k tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like the Grot? You mean the little ones or the Grot Mega Tank?
No, the little ones.
The little ones. They are very good. Yeah.
They're just cute. Real world tanks. I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay, next question. We see Wib get Grail minis and Transformers often. What are Snipe and Drumblebee's holy grail of toys or minis?
Oh. Wow. Well, Drama's like, an adult. So, I don't know what yours would be, mate.
Oh man, if I had the time, I'd be getting so many 40k things. I have so many hypothetical armies. I'd also love to get a load of printout of the Hero Forge or equivalent system of like D&D minis.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I guess we'll put it this way: like, if there was like one mini that's like
it's not
the one
specifically minis; it's like Transformers and stuff, or like figures or whatever.
Well, yeah, but like one thing that like for whatever reason is like say outside of what you'd normally be able to get, but it's like the one thing you'd really really like.
Okay.
To make it a little simpler, I guess. Like, is there like one mini that or putting aside from the fact that I wouldn't have the time to paint it or whatever, like, is there one that you'd really really like?
Take time.
No idea.
Okay.
I can't even think of anything.
Okay, so my 40k answer is immediately a Scythe Duel.
I
fucking love that model, and I don't know if I'll be able to justify ever getting one. I love it. It's beautiful, and I'd love to fucking paint it up. and have it just hanging around because it's a big, beautiful baby, and I love it.
Well, it counts as super heavy, doesn't it? Because it's that big.
Heavy, yes. But it's not
Like
like
it's
that
a Lord of
gigantic fucking one where it's like they like.
The Biotitan.
Where the Biotitan, where like the fucking knife blade feet. Well, like every time you saw it in Warhammer World, they'd be bowed outwards because of the sheer weight of the damn thing. Now they have put it on a pole now, which honestly took you fucking long enough. Yeah. But like with like other collectibles and stuff, it's just I just collect Mandalorians, like Boba Fett's. Yeah, fucking. I really right now it's not unobtainable, but they're trickier to get. I want Bo-Katan Black Series. And I want a Cosca Reeves Black Series. I've been after them for a long time. And I also want prototype Boba Fett, the one where he's in like white armor.
Oh, it's not prototype. It's little droids.
The droid. Thank you.
Cartoon version.
I really want that one because it's just really cool. And and I think I'm only missing 2 Din Djarans, which is the Ice Planet Spider Jizz one, and the one pre-Beskar. Where he's just
I didn't know they did a Black Series of the pre-Beskar
They
version.
did, yeah.
Okay.
It's like 40 odd quid now.
Oh shit, it makes sense because you've got the muddy version of that. So of course they've got the sculpt for it. So it'd be weird if they didn't make it.
Exactly. So yeah.
Yeah, one day you need to...
and the Death Watch Mandalorian, because while he looks a lot like the Axe Woves Mandalorian Black Series figure, he is different enough. He's got quite a bit of difference in the sculpt.
You do need to show off your Black Series collection.
I've been wanting to do a like... I'm over 30. Look at my toys.
I've literally done that. It's fine.
Yeah, I know, but it's I really think it's cool when everyone else does it. But it's like my brain ones are being weird to me.
That question was from Lex Cypher, by the way. I can't remember if I said. They did also add a little extra thing saying that they saw the unbearable weight of massive talent and it was beautiful. Thank you, Snipe. You're doing God in brackets Pedro's work.
I cried through the entire thing. It made me want to be a better man.
We've got from Seamus.
Hola.
What are your favourite comfort foods?
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes, like creamy. Like this is the way I make this. I boil potatoes and I dump a fuck ton of butter and milk into them, so they're really creamy. And then I have like slow cooker beef stew, where I've cooked it for at least 6 hours, so the beef is so tender. And what I do is I put like, I get the meat juice out of the slow cooker and I make gravy with that. And then I put it back in the slow cooker. And so it's like really thick, like gravy stew and really tender beef with really creamy mashed potatoes.
Yeah, that's really nice. It is really nice when you make that. Sounds great.
Amazing.
That is the perfect winter meal because it will fill you the fuck up and will keep you warm for days. That's up there. Also, Chinese food is a big comfort for me as well. I love that, especially if I don't have to cook it.
I'll go with the mashed potato thing. So the stew's lovely.
Yeah, you like my stew?
I do love your stew. It's really nice.
Thank you. What about you, Drumblebee?
I'll
choosing
go
my
to-
stew.
I mean, I'd love to try it.
I would love to make it for you. Next time you're around, I'll make it.
Okay. I go to at the moment is Aldi do like a salted pretzel chocolate bar thing, which we eat far too much of at the moment. It's like a 200-gram bar, which is like far too much to have.
Like 800 calories.
Between just in an evening, every evening. But I mean, yeah, but it's delicious.
Is it like a protein bar or like a
No.
snack
It's
bar?
a chocolate bar.
Oh, it's just a chocolate bar.
Yeah, but with like salted pretzel bits in it, and it's delicious. That's a good comfort food. Well, that's like a snacky comfort food.
Yeah. Also, I am a slut for gravy, which is why I hate Popeyes. Because I'm sorry, America, your South cannot make gravy. I literally warned Dicko off. I saw him in line for Popeyes, and I was like, "Mate, don't get the gravy." And he was like, "Why?" I was like, "Because it's American gravy." And he was like, "Oh, it's not that bad." He texted me an hour later going, "Fucking hell, mate." And I was like, "I told you, it's fucking Yankee gravy. I'm sorry." Also, KFC gravy is everything. And for a long time in Australia, they would do it. And then I came over here and they didn't do it for like a decade. And it broke my heart. But yeah. That's a fun question. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Next one from Nick, which is for me. Well, one of it is for me. One bit of it anyway. Have you seen the new Seraphim bits? Is that project on hold for now? Also, how goes the Rogue Trader Lamenters? Yeah, my idea to make a small Seraphim army kind of on hold at the moment because I've just had other things kind of come up. I think I might need to like sort of start again with my skink idea because the way I wanted to paint them just was too time consuming and I found it kind of stressful to do, which is why I didn't. It's on hold. I've still got the models and I'm still going to do it at some point, but you know. And the Lamenters are going very well. I finished
You're really
painting.
digging those, huh?
Yeah, I finished painting another one today.
He was very Brother Ward.
Brother
Cool.
Ward, because a bunch of them are named after the
There's
cast.
Ward, Romero, Kit, West.
Yeah, and they're named after the actors who played characters in the Batman TV series in the 60s. Because
Also, Caesar Romero out of makeup. Hello.
But yeah, they're going very well. I recently found out that I had like an extra 140 points to play with to get to 2,000 points. So I managed to scrounge up an extra like a Devastator squad from spare parts. So that's once I've got everything that I've currently got painted, I'll have 1,998 points is what
Close
I have.
enough.
So that's enough for a 2,000 point list, which is
Put
sort
a
of
hat
my
on one
goal.
of them, you'll be fine.
And for Snipe, not really a question, but TikTok Zoomers have discovered Pedro Pascal, apparently.
They have, and I have complicated feelings.
I can imagine.
Because I have, so I've been following his, career for a while, and it's weird seeing him everywhere, and I have the hipster thing of, you dare lecture me!
Yeah, I get you.
I was there when that role was written! And, it is really sweet, people, being like, hey, have you seen him in this? And I can tell you, I don't know what it is, but yeah, I have. And I know everything about it. But, I mean, it's incredible that people are thinking of me and coming and going, hey, do you know this? Because it's so thoughtful and sweet, and people don't have to do that. And it's very touching.
Okay. I've got a bunch of...
But also, you're 12. He's, old enough. Don't fucking try and make this a Leonardo DiCaprio situation.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal is a fucking gem of a human being and is not a creep.
Okay. We've got a few. We'll try and get through these. Again, try and get through these quickly. Which one of you is this? This is from Miraku. Which one of you is the silliest goober and why is it Longfang?
I love Longfang. I wouldn't call him a goober.
He's not a silly goober.
He's not a silly goober. He's a
silly
goofy goober. But he's not a silly goober.
I don't know which one of us would count as the silliest.
Out of all four of us?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably not me.
No.
I'm actually pretty stoic. I'm pretty serious.
No.
Kind of make.
I'm
people
not suggesting that. I'm
uncomfortable.
not suggesting that any of us are serious people, but I'm not sure if silly is a is an apt descriptor.
Fucking disgusting.
I think we're more absurd people.
Dadaist is we're Dadaists. Perfect.
We have Tim asking, Zodes? ?
Yeah, you're welcome.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one from Cadet Cola.
Hola.
How much of the cultural climate of the late 80s UK bled into the foundations of 40k/fantasy lore, and is that influence still around today? Yes.
Just ask us about dicks next time. Fuck's sake.
That is a subject which could be talked about for hours. The basic thing is that, 40k is set in a dystopian far future in which human life has been reduced to such little value.
So the Tories are in charge.
I was gonna say,
And
no,
it should be
Tories are in
noted,
charge.
it was released, it was developed and released whilst Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister.
Which I'm not gonna. Okay, I don't have a prepared statement, but I will say that even Thatcher had fucking principles. They were fucked and evil and bullshit, and I hate her, and I'm glad the bitch is dead. But the fucking Tory government we have now are just scattershot, hating people in every direction, and it's a nightmare because they don't have any goals. They just want to fuck the poor and
They have
children.
goals. It's called make money.
Yeah, they
Right now,
I said
not in the
fuck
future.
poor.
Right now, make money right now. All the money right now.
Yeah,
and my friends
almost
make
as
money
if
right now.
capitalism is
Yeah.
a fucking death
Inherently
cult.
fucked.
Disgusting.
And it does bleed into 40k. They've spent a long
does.
time trying to lessen a lot of the more extreme things, but
it's very tricky, and I wouldn't know how to write out of it either. But like the whole kind of the Imperium of Man having an emperor and everything, basically being satire on fascism, has been so fucking lost because now it's like you see a Space Marine, you go, it's 40k, and because they're the poster boys for 40k, you can't help but like that's in the position of
they're the goodies.
The goodies, even though they are not. They are the main kind of protagonist race. Even though, it's like Joel from The Last of Us. He is a protagonist, but he is not a good man.
And I think a lot of this, because I think people sit there and they'll say, "Well, of course I don't treat them as the good guys. They're not supposed to be the good guys." And it's like, yeah, but you can't help but do it to a degree when they are
heroically on all the arts.
When they are the protagonists of the thing, it requires quite a lot of disattachment, and even when you don't think you're doing it, you're still kind of doing it, and leads to the setting kind of occasionally making what is effectively fascist apologetics, which is not good. But
there's a lot of shades.
Which is one of the things I think that either try and ditch that stuff entirely and try and move away from it, or go harder on it because the middle of the road thing is where the awkwardness happens. But yeah, it is still around. But yeah, to go into that in real depth is a bit more of a question that is more for make a 20-minute video on than
good question, but we haven't prepared anything.
Yeah.
Basically, I also don't envy GW's position with it. Because it is a really tricky fucking situation.
All I'll say is, like, Gene Stealer cults, there's a lot to be said about working class people revolting against their against the people above them,
and then eating them.
Yes, there is metaphors you can read into the Gene Stealer cults that obviously break down when you start getting into the alien shit about them. But no metaphor is a 1-to-1. One from Dave Megason, which is, given that God is infinite and that the universe is also infinite, would you like a toasted tea cake? Yes, I would.
No. Wait, what's a tea cake? Is it like a scone?
It's a hot cross bun, but without the crust.
Oh, yeah, I'll have one of them. Yeah, that sounds good, actually. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Dave.
we had some yesterday.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I do want one.
With salted butter on.
Spiced bread with salted butter.
Oh.
Unstoppable jizz, mate. Fuck yeah.
Here's one we can answer quite quickly. It's an interesting one, which is from Matt Simpson, which is, why Snipe and Wib? What is the origin of those names?
When I started putting stuff on DeviantArt as a teenager, I'm still a massive Metal Gear Solid fan, and I love Sniper Wolf, so I was like, I like rabbits, I'm Sniper Bunny, and then I just kept knocking shit off the end of that.
Until it just became Snipe.
Until it became Snipe. Well, it became Snipe the Sorrow because Snipe is such a short name. So, and Snipe,
can't get anywhere.
The Sorrow, is a Metal Gear Solid 3 reference, which is my favourite game in the series. So, yeah.
Wib is an abbreviation of Wibble the Fish, which was a character that I and a friend made up in school that was a fish that exploded. It's not funny, but I started using the name as an alias way back then, and it's kind of stuck. The name Wibble comes from the last episode of Blackadder Goes Forth, where he pretends to go mad to get away from the front and starts saying the word "wibble" as a description of as to show that he is mad.
Also, you had fish. We had Wibble and Bob.
Yeah, that was because of that.
I just thought I'd bring it up.
Tartan Rock asks, "What do you like to listen to while making and painting models?"
I like, when making and painting models, to listen. I tend to watch YouTube videos. It'll probably be like, I don't know, something like H-Bomb, one of his like video essays and stuff. I love that guy's stuff.
Some of the ones that are like a couple of hours long are really
like
good for that.
Jenny Nicholson is immensely awesome.
For that kind of stuff,
I like watching big ass fucking long videos that I can just kind of have on in the background. I don't tend to listen to music unless I'm working out or going somewhere. Or writing, so just big ass video essays basically.
I tend to go one of two ways, which is that either I'll listen to podcasts, which are never the hobby podcasts or anything, like they're always
it's like Behind the Bastards or
Yeah,
there's your problem.
Knowledge fight, anything like that. I tend to be what I listen to whilst doing that. Or alternately, I'll have on in the background the worst shows you have ever
Hunt, like the Chasing Hitler or whatever.
Hunting Hitler, Ancient Aliens, weird propaganda shit that gets put up on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, he watches some weird shit.
Yeah, I watch that stuff like for fun. I find them very illuminating.
Very informative.
I've talked about this recently on a stream actually, where I talked about how I personally find watching what is functionally like propaganda for lies, but that 100% is lying to you. Like you're going into it as a non-believer and there is nothing they can say that can convince you because they are lying, is really useful because you then see how people lie to you. And it means that when people are lying to you about things that maybe you don't know as much about, you're more well equipped to know when someone's lying to you.
Well, because I mean, like that kind of like, bro, just trust me. They all follow a similar kind of pattern of trying to convince you. So.
Yeah, there's the trick, the rhetorical tricks are.
Yeah, you also need to worry though because you watch a lot of that stuff and your brain does pick up a couple of stuff subconsciously, so it can. In the kind of like narcissistic parent-child kind of community, they refer to these things as fleas. Which is basically a flea is a habit that you have picked up. It is trained behavior that you've subconsciously picked up from an abusive parent or a narcissistic individual in your life. That isn't your trait, but it's something that you do.
You can't watch too much Giorgio Tsoukalos before you start picking things up.
Yeah, you can't watch too much of that shit without occasionally, accidentally, subconsciously going, like someone will be like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, and they go, yeah, the Jews did that, and then you go, wait a fucking minute. No, and so
yeah, and maybe I tend not to watch the stuff that's quite that extreme.
I know, but I'm just as an extreme example.
Yeah, no, it's I find it quite illuminating on that regard. In that regard, but yeah, so that's the sort of shit I tend to do because I'm a broken person.
Drama butt. What about you?
I can't watch something and paint at the same time because I'll end up just watching it and not painting, or painting it and then having to rewind and watching it again.
That's fair.
You see, that is the thing. I find I have to like pick something that I can either listen to, or it's something where the visuals aren't important, or I've seen before.
I have to have there are certain days where I need an insane amount of stimulus. I got in and I was like, because I went out today and I was like, I was kind of overwhelmed because being outside was a lot. I came in, I had to have a YouTube video on, I was reading fiction on my phone, and I was having a conversation with you at the same time. Yeah.
That's the thing why I have to tell you to stop playing the video, because I can't have a conversation while there's another audio source. My brain stops functioning.
There's a few questions. There's more that I want to read.
Oh yeah, if you want to read a few,
sure.
I guess we should probably wrap up soon. But
sure.
Can answer a few more.
Why is Drummer Matt the best? Because he knows how to wear a man like a pair of gloves.
I noticed that one was hosted by at Drumblebee.
Yeah, that's such a weird coincidence.
Such a weird coincidence. Yeah. We're only nice about you when you're not here, Matt. When you're not here, we talk about you in a really nice manner. But like when you're here, we can't be nice to you. I'm sorry.
It's the whole English thing of like. It's like Bill Bailey said, you're always not too bad.
Yeah.
Because the English can't be emotionally positive.
I can't just come out and say you're one of the best men I've ever known and that I love you deeply. He wants to kiss you on the mouth. And honestly, I think we all do. In a respectful, friendly way. We want to wear you like a parachute. Why did I say parachute? What? I met parachute pants, I think, what I was going for. Yeah, but I got confused. Chiat asks, out of Longfang Drumbly Bumbly Boy, I love that, Wib and Pedro Pascal, who has the most rubbable tummy? I think that's for me. Okay, so let me tell you about tummies. I love little tummies. I love tummies. They are so cute. Pedro Pascal has a very cute tummy. Wib has a very cute tummy. Drummer Butt has a very cute tummy. And so does Longfang. And I would say I can't pick. I think it would be quite easy to pick. You're married to one of them.
Okay, Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
You do have a very cute tummy, but
Thank
also
you.
I don't want to make it weird because we work together.
I think we made it weird. We made it weird a while ago.
Yeah, we did. We like fucked around, got married, lol.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's have a look. Denadar says, today is Shrove Tuesday. Have you eaten semla today? I don't know who she is, I'm sorry. Or a pancake. As apparently it's in pancake day too. What's semla?
I don't know.
Is that semolina? I don't know that
semolina.
queen. I don't know.
I don't know.
I assume
honestly,
it's something that's made with lots of sugar and eggs and stuff that we're meant to not eat for the next 40 odd days.
Yeah, I really want to have poached eggs now, so sorry I've kind of ruined that.
I've not had a pancake. I'm not, in general, the biggest fan of pancakes.
I can't figure out pancakes. I like them in a very specific way, but I just can't cook them right. And it fucks me. It pisses me off.
Did you have a pancake, Matt?
I had 6, I think. I'm trying to count how many I had. So, pancake
What,
toppings.
in total?
Again. Well, yeah, but it was, yeah.
Over the entirety of your life.
No, like 3 hours ago.
Okay. You don't have sweet pancakes, do you?
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, sweet
Because
Gross. I fucking
because
hate sweet pancakes.
if
I
you
hate
ever-
sweet
if
porridge,
you-
I hate sweet
like-
pancakes.
Sweet pancakes are superior. I'm
They're
with you,
disgusting.
Yeah.
Gross.
Chocolate ice cream. That's the way to go.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I am horrified. Yeah, you'll ever get that feeling when you don't know who you're sitting next to?
Well, I had the same,
fair,
up until
I'm-
recently, I had the same with savoury pancakes, because, like, growing up, we only ever had sweet ones, and then, like, as a, like, I don't know, 30-odd-year-old or whatever, and someone was having, like, cheese and ham in a pancake, I was just like, in my head, it's like having, like,
That's
cheese
what
and
an
chocolate or
omelette's
something. I'm just like,
for.
what? That's, like, yeah, exactly. Savoury pancakes are the worst. Exactly.
No!
Thank you. Thank you for
No.
proving my point.
No! I'll just delete it and I'll just chop
yeah.
up your words so you want to, like, jack off to your mum.
I
again.
like how you use Snipe's ADHD against
Yeah,
them
that's
there.
fucking evil. I'm disabled, man. Come on.
By waiting for the moment when they're not really paying attention.
Which is literally every other moment.
To be fair, I'm more of a crepe person. I prefer crepes.
Crepes, I don't mind
To
having
pancakes.
sweet because
I mean,
they-
I'm talking, I'm talking, wide, thin pancakes, which are
Well, you're
crepes.
already proving that maybe some people should
Not
be able to
like-
talk.
Not like...
Are you talking like the Yankee pancakes where they're like a
No,
fucking
no,
brick?
no. Not the like stumpy, like the narrow, thick ones. The one like the crepes. When I say pancake,
Okay,
that's what I
okay.
mean.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. American
crepes.
pancakes with a bit of like maple syrup and bacon
No,
and whatever for breakfast is
no,
excellent.
no.
But that's not what Pancake Day is about.
No. Pancakes should only ever be eaten like this. They should have vanilla essence in them, which is the
How much vanilla essence?
just no. We are not going down that Tumblr fucking nightmare. A sensible amount of vanilla essence, and then you come out, you pop butter on them, and then you put salt on them, and you eat them like that, and they're incredible.
Oh.
It's
I'd be
fucking
okay with except salt. Salt feels like that would be too much.
Well, I mean, I grew up with a Scottish nana, and she put like
Everything does need to be
everything
slightly
needs
bitter,
salted,
yes.
and like I loved her pancakes,
sour.
and I loved her porridge because it would literally just milk, salt, fucking gorgeous, good to go, love it, can't get enough. So yeah.
All right.
But no, now I want pancakes, and I can't like do that for myself. So thanks a lot. What would your choice be between getting a pet dinosaur to ride everywhere or marry Pedro Pascal? Neko Science asks. Now, I will say, Neko Science, you missed a trick here, friend. It should have been, what would your choice be between getting a pet dinosaur to ride everywhere or ride Pedro Pascal everywhere? Because obviously I'd pick
Well, I
Pedro
assume
Pascal.
if you're married to someone, you get to ride them around. That's like
Well, yeah. I mean, I would...
You have to not
The
be
thing
built
is,
like
I-
a twig.
the only
like me, though, to do
the only
it.
issue they have to it goes both ways, I guess.
Yeah, fine. That's if he wants to ride me to fucking Sainsbury's, that's okay. Maybe wait until after my surgery, but whatever. But no. Obviously Pedro Pascal, the only problem is I'd have to like change the law so I could be married to Wib as well, because, you know, I don't want to not be married to Wib.
Okay, so we're overturning the UK government. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and
I mean, I'm
Pedro
game.
would help.
Yeah.
Pedro would help with that. He's very like politically switched on. And Draconic says, what discontinued / out of print miniature do you miss the most? That's a good question. And also, tell me a funny joke.
I guess if you're talking about in terms of like it would be nice if they still made them.
I know. I know it's Forge World, but the Space Wolves Venerable Dreadnought.
Yeah,
That is a beautiful fucking mod.
I always forget the name. It's Caster. The standard box dreadnoughts that Forge would used to make. Those would be nice to get back because they were really nice.
Yeah, they really, really were. So definitely those.
Like, I always wanted to make a small Heresy era World Eaters force and have that box dreadnought from the World Eaters one they had, because I always really liked that. But painted in its pre-Heresy colours.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good shout, because there's a lot of stuff that obviously I like a lot, and it would be nice if I could get them, at prices of
that are sensible.
Obscene.
Yeah.
I'm not
like
sure sensible prices and games.
Well, I mean, as sensible considering.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's like, I one of the things that I'm kind of looking at trying to get now is I want to make a small bike squad for my Lamenters.
I just say, personally, this is a personal opinion, and if you love them, that's fine. I hate bikes in 40k armies. I don't want a single bike in my army. That's just my preference. But I can doing a bike squad's gonna be cool, but no sir, not for me.
You don't have to have them.
Yes, I do. No, I don't. I'll just put doggos in there. It's fine.
Yeah, I have no issue with the bikes because.
Well, I mean, obviously, but the thing is, I know I'm weird, and that's okay.
Sometimes you just have units that you just look at and then you go, no.
Sometimes units where you just go, no, absolutely not. No, thank you.
I get that with Centurions. I just no, I just don't like them.
Is it bikes in general? Have you seen the Gene Stealer cult bikes, which are
very
different
to the?
They're cool, and I like the idea of them, but no, I wouldn't have them. I love the idea of using them as
snipers. So you got the one with the sniper. Yeah, it's just a nice zipping around, fight to new locations, taking a pot shot, zipping around, taking another pot shot. I just think that's a fun conceit.
No, it is, but again, I just don't know why. Just tabletop motorcycles piss me off. Okay, I don't know.
Well, if it helps, they're Rogue Trader bikes, so they don't look like oat.
Yeah,
they don't look like a bike.
They look like oat. They're like a bin. They'll bin for you. Yeah.
Do not mock my Derbyshireness.
I think it's cute. I was talking to a nurse in chemo. There was two nurses. Well, one of them was she was born in the Philippines, and the other one was jet setty kind of family. So fucking accent all over the place and stuff. And I was talking about how I like your accent because it's cute and it sounds weird. And they were like, you like the Derbyshire accent. Like really quietly. They were like, you like it? And I was like, yeah, because sometimes instead of saying pillow, he says pillar. And they were like, And I'm like, what? It's cute. And they were like, all right, fucking freak.
In fairness, I don't have the broadest Derbyshire accent.
Your mum does.
My mum slips into a broad one sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends how much she's been around my family that have a broader accent.
Yeah, it is quite funny. Like, your nana's got quite a thick one.
It's because, being central Derby, the accent tends not to be
it's a bit more neutral.
Strong.
Yeah.
It's obviously still there. Like, it'd be absurd to say, I don't have an accent. Because I do. But, it's not as...
The only people that have accents are Midwest American.
It's not as strong as, say, if I'd have grown up in, one of the outlying, little towns or whatever, where it tends to be a bit broader. Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
But I do still say oat and note. And
I do like
oat and things like that.
Oat is good.
Oat. Yeah, I had an uncle...
In case you ask someone, you're right.
Right. I remember getting really confused as an Australian coming out because I thought that instead of agreeing, that was them asking me how I was. So someone would walk past me going, "You're right," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm having a good one. Actually, okay, bye." And I get so confused. I have half. I was going to ask about you.
It's a courtesy. It's not an earnest question. It's, "You're right. Yeah, I'm all right. You? Yeah, I'm all right." And that's it. That's done. That is the only conversation.
"You're right, Martin.
Yeah, you're right, Thor.
You're right, Rodin."
That's a call. That is an old fucking reference.
Valhallal's kebab shop or whatever the fuck.
On rathergood.com in 2004.
Fucking hell. 6 years ago.
Actually, I think 2004 might be a bit late. I think it's more like 2002.
Jesus Christ.
Kangaroo
spunk. Anyway, but yeah, no, that thoroughly confused me.
But yeah, it would be nice if, say, I could get those bikes a little cheaper because they are £20 a pop, and you don't necessarily get the rider with them. And so to get a full squad of those, well, not even to get a full squad, to get a squad that is even the minimum amount is kind of expensive, and so it would be nice if there was they did reprints of some of these old things. It would be nice to do a bunch of that, like the old Dreadnoughts, things like that.
Yeah, because they were fucking dope.
And there's a lot of stuff like that, but it is purely because like I have obviously I'm making a retro army, and I would like to have everything be authentic from the time, but I'm realistic about it, and at some stuff I do have to have reproduction things or use a modern part here and there, and so if they did like newer castings of them, then I wouldn't mind. Not least because loads of the Rogue Trader stuff existed for quite some time. Like, say, the Rogue Trader era rhinos were around until like 2002, and one of the ones that's in my army is literally a recast of one, and one of them is one I bought in like the year 2000. So that's not Rogue Trader officially, but it is a Rogue Trader model. And some of the Rogue Trader models, even if they weren't sold in stores, were available for mail order until like into the 2000s. So there are some models that I've bought secondhand that you go, this is a Rogue Trader model, but it could have been cast in like 2004. So trying to do a quote unquote authentic army is basically impossible unless you bought them at the time. So yeah, basically it'd be nice if they just reprinted a bunch of the stuff that's really expensive so I can buy them and then they can stop making them.
That's fine. What about you, Drumbly Boo?
Well, I think we've had a similar question before, and last time I said it gets a bit awkward because I think last time I said the old Tau stealth suits. I really like them. I much prefer them to new ones. And then I think someone had some spare and offered me them, and I didn't think I replied to them, and so sorry if you're that person now listening.
Oh, I have to say, can I piggyback off that very quickly because it just reminded me. I had someone in my Instagram DMs who was like, hey, I really want to send you something. And it took me ages to get back to them because ADHD and cancer kind of take up all my time. And they deleted their account.
Oh.
Because they were having a bit of trouble, and I think they wanted to step away from social media.
Fair.
And I feel really bad because I can't remember the name because I can't remember anything. And if you're listening to this, I'm really, really sorry. I wasn't ignoring you, and I'm sorry. And this is not just because I'm sorry, can you send me stuff? It's like, no, I don't want you to feel like I was ignoring you. It's just my brain being shit, and I'm really sorry, and I hope you're feeling better.
That likewise goes for literally anyone who's ever emailed in or sent me a DM and hasn't got a response. My brain doesn't work very good when it comes to stuff like that. So if you've ever sent something and I haven't got back to you, it's not because I personally hate you.
It's because you have like a weird anxiety around DMs and stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff spikes my anxiety, something fierce. So basically the only way I am able to efficiently answer DMs is if it comes in whilst I am literally like at the thing and I see it and I answer it just then, and then I can deal with it completely fine.
Yeah.
But the moment anything other than that occurs, my brain doesn't work properly. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So please never think that I am ignoring you. I'm not. I'm actually having a small anxiety attack. Yeah.
Sorry, Drama. Sorry. That just reminded me, and I've been feeling really bad about that for like a week. So I wanted to just say. Now, Drama Matt's not talking to us.
What?
You were saying about the Tau stealth suit thing.
Oh no! I like the old Tau stealth suits.
It would be cool if they did say there was like maybe like a Forge World revival thing of the older style of them.
That'd be so cool.
So they can kind of do a smaller run version of them that say isn't just a single block of metal, and say actually you could have like it be posable and stuff.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like I think that could be. I mean, I would say this as an old model collector. But it would be nice if there's a lot of old stuff if they would put out. And I know they do with some stuff periodically, but I think once you get beyond sort of second edition, they very rarely do it. And I think part of the reason is that the molds for those are currently in Brian Ansell's loft. Is I think the reason why GW can't make some of those models.
Yeah.
I think that
come in. No.
I think that mostly applies to like first, second edition Warhammer Citadel minis. But I think there are some 40k ones that are in his loft as well.
Either that or the canal.
They are. Yeah. They're in Newark Canal.
Oh, well. If only someone got a shiny new 3D scanner at work that they can use to scan old models, and then find someone with a decent 3D printer, and then
which we would never endorse. Terrible.
Or encourage or provide you with...
If you want 3D models printing, don't watch cartoons online.
But yeah...
And that's all the questions we're going to be answering.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
It is. This podcast has gone on for... Wow, okay, where did the last half an hour go? Okay.
Well, we were answering questions and talking about 40k.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah.
Have we done enough 40k that I can justify naming the episode after some at 40k?
Yeah,
because people always listen to it more when I do that.
Yeah, let me try. Well, we could just put like, Pedro Pascal plays Melindy in brackets. Wait till you see where his hairy spider is. Oh my god.
I know I'm saying this, I am joking, but it is mildly annoying that all we have to do to get more views on the podcast is just reference 40k or put an image of 40k in the
When we
on
have
the thing.
such incredibly unforgettable titles as Burger Dentata, Dingo Stole My Biker Mice, and spitting raw eggs into each other's mouths, and
probably
you
just
sick
the word
fucks,
"cum."
Just the word cum. That should be our 200th episode. It should just be the cum cast. Where we just talk about cum.
I understand.
Sorry about the cum, Dad. That was one
Yeah.
of my favourites.
I understand why this happens. It makes sense because our channel is primarily based around Warhammer 40,000. It makes sense.
But why don't you like us more than 40,000? A hobby which you can, how dare you?
But it is mildly annoying.
Yeah.
I'm sure you understand.
It's one of those things where, it's always like, I spent 3 days on this picture and I'm really proud of it. And there's 3 people going, yeah, it's all right. Or you're like, I drew a fucking wolf with high pants on, and that's the most popular picture I have.
Yeah,
it's always the way. It's just,
one of our most watched videos, 'cause it's got over 200,000 views, is the Fallout 4 40k mod, and that is not a good. That's
video.
not a particularly good video that we made in literally an afternoon.
Yeah.
It was recorded, edited, and I even drew the title card artwork in an afternoon.
There's so many people that are like, that's the first video of yours I saw, and I've been hooked ever since. And I'm like, you thought what?
It's not surprising.
You people would just watch anything, won't you?
It's had 200,000 views.
Crazy.
I think the only videos that have had more views than that are the first Rogue Trader video and the model retrospective Space Marine video, which
it's just. Listeners, all it is to say is sod's law, the thing you're most proud of no one will care about, and something you just do on a whim or whatever without without too much stress about it, people will adore.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird.
That's just content creation.
Yeah, it's just one of those. But yeah, no, so speaking of content creation, that's some content what we just created.
Yeah, you've all listened to some content.
Yeah. Taron Egerton, Drama Matt's, if you message me, I will give you his phone number. Drama Matt, if that's okay with you.
I will say I am still having some...
Wow, Drama Matt sounds remarkably like my husband sitting right next to me, not answering the question I asked, but sure, yeah.
No, I'm having trouble because my brain keeps remembering that there is a Tetris movie.
Yeah, with Taron Egerton in it. He's got a really sexy mustache.
I remember hearing about it a while ago, and I'm pretty sure it's about the creation of Tetris. It's not...
No, I want Taron Egerton to run out.
It's not Tetris the video game, the movie. It's about... Tetris, the game, being made and the story behind that.
No, I want Taron Egerton to run into the street, look in the sky and go, "Fucking hell, it's an L block, son!" Because that's the way he talks.
we have found Snipe's third accent.
Fuck you. Fucking hell, it's a square block, mate. Bloody hell, governor. Fucking what, bruv? Beep, beep, beep. And then, the buildings disappear and he just fucking takes his clothes off.
And Corabianki plays.
Corabianki plays.
Like a sensual version.
Oh, there has to be a sex scene with, it's in Terminator 1 where there's, a romantic version of the Terminator theme. It's like that, but it's the Tetris theme. And he's I don't know, fucking a line piece.
I was going to say, is it the line piece going when you've lined it all up perfectly and it goes in and then it goes back out and it goes back in and it goes back out? And it goes back in, and then it all disappears.
Okay, because if you have sex with a Tetris block, is half of your genitals going to disappear?
Yes.
Then don't fuck Tetris.
Well, it's okay if you leave some blocks out. That's what you'd have to do.
Okay, so it has to be
just not make a complete line.
Okay.
So basically, you have to be really careful in an orgy.
Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe just don't. I probably wouldn't go to one.
In the world where you are a Tetris block, then yeah, probably wise.
Yeah. It's like I haven't seen you since you were a foot taller. Orgy. Beginner's mistake.
And see, all of that was extra content that we added on at no extra cost.
No one's paying for this shit anyway. It's probably for the best.
No, yeah. This podcast happens despite what people think, not because of it.
Yeah. Sorry?
Anyway, we're going. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't have a Tetris orgy.